Do you guys know people charge hundreds to thousands of dollars for different crypto courses? These could be from DeFi, NFTs, staking, how to get started in crypto, finding the next 100x gem, you name it. In today's video, I put together the ultimate DeFi marathon, how to get started in DeFi, what I've learned, some different strategies you guys can use, some farming rules that I apply, how to get started in yield farming, you name it. I hope you guys enjoyed this giga marathon. I hope you guys brought some popcorn for this giga marathon. And if you guys enjoy this video, make sure you guys smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. That way you guys are notified every time we make a new one. And please leave in the comments below telling me what you thought of this marathon. If you guys want me to put more together just like this. Again, this is free. I'm not charging anything for it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys learned some valuable lessons from it. And if you guys want to support the channel, there's a link in the description below. You guys can grab yourself a ledger. Highly recommend it in DeFi. If you guys want to join the Discord, there's a link in the description below. There's also a Patreon as well. A couple tips for the video. There are some timestamps in the description below so you guys can go through different video clips, whatever. Anything in particular you want to go over. And if you guys are wanting to run through the video quicker, twice the information, half the time, there's a toggle icon or a gear. It'll allow you to speed up the video. You can pause the video at any time to come back. Remember, it's a marathon. I hope you guys enjoy the marathon. In under 5 minutes, I'm going to share the lessons I've learned in DeFi and what mistakes I've made so you guys can learn from my mistakes. First is don't invest more than you're willing to lose. If you find a DeFi protocol or a project and you're like, oh, it's never going to fail, it's going to be the next big thing, and you're already out there counting your digits and you're like, dude, win Lambo. I'm going to get Lambo on this and this date. I'm going to get a new house on this date. Be careful. Those are signs of usually the top. Make sure you diversify your risk. There's always such thing as a black swan event and things you don't even calculate. So position sizing is key. If a farm or a position becomes too large of a percent of the portfolio, it's time to start selling and move some into other assets. There are two easy signs from this. The first is if you're running around dancing with a lampshade and figuring out the dates when you're going to buy that Lamborghini or house, it's time to sell some. Second is if you can barely sleep at night, either A, counting the numbers, or B, like, bro, I hope this thing doesn't go to zero. That's also when it's time to diversify and start selling some. That means you overinvested. The second lesson I've learned is don't be overexposed to one narrative/asset. An example of this is Luna. Some people thought they were diversifying their assets by holding UST instead of Luna and holding some of the Luna altcoins like Spectrum Protocol, Mirror Protocol, Anchor Protocol. However, all of these assets are correlated with each other. When Luna fell, this caused UST to fall, this caused Mirror to fall, this caused Anchor to fall. So if you had diversification in Luna and diversified between different altcoins on Luna, you actually lost everything, or just about everything. People got some money back from airdrops, but still, the point is, don't overexpose to one narrative/one asset class. This can also be for other altcoins, like for example, the Phantom ecosystem or the Avalanche ecosystem. If you're buying Avalanche, Trader Joe, and Pangolin and thinking you're diversified, well, think again. That's not so much. You're overexposed to one narrative. Third, always take profits. There's nothing wrong with taking profits. I already gave you the first sign of taking profits. This is when you're already picking out your Lamborghini, picking out the date, and you're running around with a lampshade on your head. That's the first. Another sign is taking screenshots and you're like, bro, I'm up 1,000,000%. Look at me. That's a top. Fourth, if you want to degen, just do it with coffee money. The classic saying in our Discord from one of our members, he always calls it coffee money. He's good at the degen game, I'll give him that much, but always play with coffee money. This is really important because at the end of the day, no matter how good it is, eventually, a lot of those degen, actually all of the degen plays, are going to go to zero. So if you invest a huge percentage of the portfolio and it goes to zero, there goes your whole portfolio. These degen farms, you don't know when they're going to go to zero. You wake up one day and they're at zero. That's how these things work. And lastly, when you're taking profits, use this as opportunities to DCA into blue chips, DCA into Bitcoin, ETH, or some other coins you're bullish on, as well as cash. Stable coins are okay here and there. Those are more so for a trade, but holding it in cash is better than the derivative because, well, you're exposing yourself to additional risk factors holding a stable coin. If UST wasn't enough for that, then I don't know what to tell you guys.
You're wondering why would you get a MetaMask and why not just integrate your wallet directly? So this is one of the main reasons, is anonymity and privacy. So you can automatically link your ledger. A lot of people feel uncomfortable linking their ledger to a website. I would be too, because that's your main hardware wallet. So instead, you link it to MetaMask. MetaMask links to this, and basically you have an intermediary. And if someone was to come after your funds, they would only be able to come after like a MetaMask, even though it is still difficult to come after it. So you can buy, store, send, swap tokens, like I showed you how to do later, or like I'll show you how to do later in the video. You can explore blockchain apps so you can play around with it instead of constantly having to throw or pay an exchange fee or transaction fee to send like Ethereum to one network to another. It's just on MetaMask and you go to the next one. You own your own data, so MetaMask generates passwords and keys on your device, so you have access to your accounts and data. You always choose what to share and what to keep private, so you can choose all that. And then basically here's a video you guys can watch on how the MetaMask works, what it does, and how it integrates with other websites and blockchains. So here's some of their partners: Uniswap, Maker, Compound, OpenSea, AirSwap, Bounties, Uport. These are some big ones right here: MakerDAO, Compound, and Uniswap. I'll show you Uniswap later in the video. And yeah, we'll get along with the video.
This is Sam. Sam uses the internet just like the rest of us. Lots of apps she uses seem to be free, but they actually come at a cost. She knows the internet isn't very secure and strangers own her data. Credit cards are stolen, identities get hacked. She has to navigate a maze of ads just to surf the web, and she knows someone is always watching. But she's heard there's a better way. And then Sam sees it, the promise of a new internet
powered by the Ethereum blockchain.
An amazing combination of technologies the world is building together that are reinventing how we connect to one another, and it's just within her reach. But to access this new world, she needs the right tools. Meet MetaMask, your connection to the new web. MetaMask is the tool Sam needs to access this new world. It's a key that connects her to new types of applications. It's a wallet that keeps her data and valuables safe and sound. And it's a shield that protects her from hackers and data collectors. With MetaMask, Sam is ready to explore this new internet safely and securely. The possibilities are endless. Sam can use next-generation applications that give control back to the users and the community, own her data and move seamlessly between sites, and send money across the world at a fraction of the cost. Create new organizations with new currencies that bind her communities together. Crowdsource projects and art, or invest in other people's creations. Sound too good to be true? Well, with great freedom comes great responsibility. Sam controls her own identity on this new internet.
No more new passwords for every site she visits.
Just a secret phrase that controls her accounts. This phrase is her login, her password, and her proof of ownership all wrapped up in one.
So Sam has to keep it as safe as she possibly can.
Now that she's installed MetaMask, Sam's ready to explore the best version of the internet. Vote, crowdfund, buy stuff, publish writing, make art, hire freelancers. What will Sam do first? Whatever she wants. The internet is hers to explore. Welcome to a new kind of internet. Welcome to MetaMask.
So you create a wallet. It just talks about this, basically the disclaimer that they have. They don't collect private keys. They don't collect transactions. Don't collect your IP. Okay, yeah, I agree. So now you're going to create your account, make up a password, because this is basically going to be your wallet. So this is going to be the wallet with the private keys, and it's also going to have your public keys. So never share your private keys with anyone. As soon as you do that, basically consider your money gone. So we're going to make up just a random password. Alright, so we made a random password, agreed to terms and conditions, and click here to reveal secret words. Well, I'm going to remind later, so we don't have to show you guys my secret words. I don't want you guys taking my wallet. Yeah, this is just a fake wallet, guys. I'm not going to be using this. So here's the different integrations that they have. They have Uniswap, You can use it on AirSwap. You can use it on 0x. Those are different decentralized exchanges. So now we're on the MetaMask account. You can either buy with their own integration, like buy ETH with Y. I wouldn't recommend it. It's got a bunch of fees, guys. Watch my video on how to get cryptocurrency or buy Bitcoin or Ethereum with little to zero fees whatsoever. So directly deposit Ether. Here's your account. This is the wallet address. You literally just copy this address, paste it on Coinbase or on Binance, wherever you have your Ethereum, and send it here. It's going to show up here, and now you can literally use MetaMask anywhere you want. It's that easy. So you can go to your extensions anytime you want to pull up the little MetaMask little pop-up. You just click that MetaMask thing, and you can go to your Ethereum, test network, Covin. So there's different networks, but the main thing we're going to go on is the Ethereum. So MetaMask is mainly for using Ethereum to transfer between different websites really easy. So there are some websites that say they're only compatible with like Ledger, or let's just show you guys so you can understand. Let's go to Uniswap. Gotta wait till it loads. Alright, so uniswap.org. So here you can go here, same thing. We're gonna launch the app. Really easy to use. You don't even have to set up an account. So this, not only is it easy to use, and you don't even have to set up an account, it's anonymous. So you don't have to go through KYC and all the different processes. You can literally just connect the wallet and integrate it. So we're going to hit connect a wallet, and you see this is the account where it talks about MetaMask, your wallet connect, your Coinbase wallet. So you can use any of these. You just select MetaMask, it opens the pop-up, integrates my account, next, connect, and that's how you connect it. It's that easy. So this was the intro on how to use MetaMask. You can create your guys' own account, integrate your Ledger. So connect hardware wallet right here. You can do Ledger or Trezor, and that's it.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about stable coins. Well, let's go ahead and start with the verse of the day. Therefore, we do not lose heart. Through outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Have faith, guys. Heaven's real, and I'm ready to get there. I hope you are too. Alright, so let's jump into the channel. We're going to talk about stable coins. This is one I actively use. Sometimes I use Tether. We're going to talk about it. So USDC, basically what its goal is to maintain stability by staying towards the price of $1. How the USDC stablecoin works is basically if $1 is put into the system, 1 USD is issued. And if $1 is taken out, 1 USD is taken out. Or if 1 USDC is sold, $1 US is taken out. So that's mainly how the system works. It used to be how our old system worked when the dollar was backed by gold. So theoretically back then, you had the dollar, which was supposed to be backed by gold, but ever since they took it off the gold standard in '72, yeah, it went haywire. Actually, let me show you what a old note used to look like. Alright, so here's an old $10 bill. This is from 1929 or 28. This was back when we were on the US standard. If you guys look at this closely, it has this certificate that says, this is a certificate, or this certificate is a legal tender in the amount thereof in payment of all debts and dues, public and private certificate. So if you see right here, it says $10 in gold coin payable to the bearer on demand. So that basically means is you can turn your dollar in and say, hey, I want to get my $10 in gold. I want it now. If you want to look at this, the new notes, they say, we'll pay the bearer $10 on demand. So we'll pay the bearer on demand $10. What does that mean? What's $10 worth? Well, $10 is worth $10 because the U.S. says so. Well, no, it's not even backed by gold anymore, so it's basically useless. But that's what happened. So with the stable coins, they were trying to be able to revolutionize with Bitcoin and use its features. Like you can't send $10 to someone in another country or overseas without going through like wire transfers or going through Swift, just like, or Western Union, just different ways. Instead, this one allows you to basically use PayPal, but to other countries. So it's pretty cool. But either way, so this is a USDC coin. Basically, how this stable coin works is $1 in the system equals 1 USD out. 1 USD out equals $1 out. So then it stabilize it that way. So stable coins, let's see. So what are stable coins? There's 3 classes of stable coins. So you have fiat collateralized, which is the one we just talked about, USDC. You have crypto collateralized, which is MakerDAO. Well, I already did a video on it in their DAI. You guys can take a look at that. It's a really cool platform. I did a video like 2 days ago. I'll put a link in the description. And then you got non-collateralized, which are algorithmic, which is like Ampleforth. And I'll show you an example of that. So fiat collateralized, straightforward. These coins are backed by real-world assets like fiat currency, etc. So like USD Tether, pegged 111, DGX, and so on. Then you have the crypto ones, which are like DAI. Then you also have, what is the other one? I think Terra is also one as well. But that one's back to actually their own token, so they don't even use another token. They use Luna. Non-collateralized. I also did a video on Luna if you want to check that out. Terra Luna. The final type of stablecoin is non-collateralized. This is like Ampleforth, and I'll show you how to do that. They're a little more confusing, but they make sense. I'll show you. So top stablecoins, you got Tether. Here's an issue with Tether: centralization. Tether and the Bitfinex exchange have a very dubious working relationship. So this one's a little more centralization concerns. They aren't really regulated. They haven't been looked at. USDC has been looked at and more scrutinized. So I do like USDC a bit. It's not financial advice. It's just what I use. There's also manipulation, so you can read more about this. I'll put a link in the article or in the description so you guys can see it. This is just a brief overview of stablecoins. MakerDAO, this one's pretty big. This one's good. I did a video on this. You guys can watch the video on how it works. But the problem with this one is they had a huge DAO hack. Basically, someone hacked the system and they were able to basically sell off all of the, steal all of the maker, which makes the DAI price explode. Yeah, not a good system if it gets hacked. It's a good system if it's not hacked, so you got to be careful with that. And then comes USDC, which is what we talked about. I like it a little better because it's less complicated. $1, 1 USDC, 1 USDC out, $1 out. What I'm talking about now is the non-collateralized stablecoin, which are kind of odd, but they do make somewhat of sense. So for example, with Ampleforth, so the number of Ample you own each day can change. So mainly what Ampleforth does is it increases the supply of the tokens when there is a huge demand in order to reduce the price back to the normal value, or it decreases the supply when demand just goes way down. So here's an example of that, of how it does. So if there's contraction, supply decreases, expansion, supply increases. So you know how supply and demand works. The more there is, the less it should cost. The less there is, the more it should cost. That's why Bitcoin's valuable. So now you have, here's an example. So say Joe buys 1 Ample for $1. Demand drops. Now his 1 Ample is only worth 50 cents. So now they reduce the supply of Ample to take his 50-cent stake back to $1.
It's an automated algorithm set up with smart contracts. So its goal is to keep whoever the buyer is with the same value he put in. So if you put in $10, its goal is to keep your value at $10, period. And here's an example where he buys $1. The demand explodes, and now he's got $2 worth of ample. Increase the supply of ample. Now his ample's worth $1 again. Well, it's worth $2, and then it goes back to 1 after the supply increases. So ample forth, you can never be diluted by supply inflation. If you think your price is so low or too low, just wait a couple days, it'll go right back up because it's an automated set of algorithms. They usually space it out with 10-day periods. So like if it just tanks and drops off the earth, they slowly decrease the supply, so they don't just like decrease it off the face and then it explodes back up. It's a slow fluctuation. So it solves diversification problem. So it allows to have like the decouple from the Bitcoin's price pattern because it's so volatile. Right now it's a smaller project, so it is going to be a little more volatile, but once there's more supply out there, the price will be a lot more steady. Yeah, so you guys can read more about this project. This is mainly just talking about different stable coins, what they do. Here's Circle. Circle is behind USDC, and here's why stable coins are good. So digital dollar stablecoin use cases for crypto startups. So you can accept payments. You can use it for corporate treasury and cash management. So now you can pay people with them because they can trust it a little better. So they aren't just getting Bitcoin that could be worth $100 and then the next day worth 200. Oh, great. The employee would be happy, but he'd be mad at you if you gave him $100 and tomorrow it's only worth $50. Now he's like, I can't afford to eat. Well, anyways, you guys can see the problem with that. It allows processing of global payout or payroll payouts. So there are options right now. You can use Swift or like Western Union, but they have fees and lots of fees. So this gets rid of all the fees with that. So if you're trying to pay like an employee maybe like $100 or $50 every day, those fees add up. Even if they're only like 5 or 6%, if you have to pay that not 5 or 6%, but if like $5 or $6 a transaction, it adds up. So like if you're doing 30 transactions in a month, it's going to cost you a little less than $150, maybe more, and just fees just for paying one employee. So it adds up. So Circle offers offers blockchain companies a crypto native US dollar. So mainly we were talking about one-to-one type of thing, and that's mainly about that stable coin. So just the reason why stable coins are so disruptive is because with stable coins you can now send people money across countries instead of having to go through all the fees and all kinds of garbage. So now you can basically how Cash App and PayPal or Venmo are for people in the United States. It's just like this, but worldwide. So USDC, the leading digital dollar stablecoin, this is what it's been doing just this year. Went from 500 million to now over 3.1 billion users as of today, or in circulation. Not users, I'm sorry. So 3.1 billion tokens. So yeah, you guys can do some more research about this. Here's a couple wallets you can use. USDC. USDC is the stable coin that I use. I like this one. It's not financial advice. It's just what I use. You guys can use your own stuff. But yeah, if you guys like this video, go ahead and smash that like button. If you guys dislike it, smash that dislike button. Steady. Oh snap. That's not good. What happens when a stable coin is not so stable? Well, it's not really the best thing, but there are other options out there. You don't only have algo stable coins. You actually have several different kinds of stable coins. In fact, there are 4 main stable coins. I'm going to go ahead and go into that in this video. I'm going to shrink my face, get it out of the way, and kind of get it over here. Let's show you guys what's going on with UST. UST is definitely not at $1. In fact, they're trying to bring it up to peg, but obviously they sold all the Bitcoin they have. Well, I mean, basically. So TLDR, there's like no more bullets to throw at this thing.
The Luna token is like completely wrecked. It's almost at zero. And basically they're at the point of where it's like, hey, let's fork the chain and airdrop the old users. That's the point we are at right now. So UST is down at current rates 92, well, actually 91%. Still, it's down a lot. Let's go ahead and take a look at the market cap to see what's going on with all the UST stablecoins. Yeah, there's like 1 billion of them, down from about 20 billion. Nice. So we're down 95% on that. So what does this mean exactly for stablecoins and everything else in general? Well, I do believe this is going to bring some more government regulation with things like this, especially when you have Janet Yellen making a comment saying, oh yeah, we can't have things like this. In fact, there was a stablecoin called Terra UST, and it's actually like not so stable. It completely collapsed and everyone lost their money. That doesn't look good at the crypto space at all. Now, time will tell. We'll see what will happen. But let's go and give you guys a couple of other stablecoins that are out there and explain to you guys a couple of different types that they have. And currently, as you guys saw on the charts, most people are flocking away from this Terra UST stablecoin and other algo stablecoins as well. I'll show you guys in the charts, but I want to give you guys a couple of demonstrations so you guys can see the type of models that we do have. The first one is a centralized stablecoin. This is a one-to-one backed stablecoin. So this would be your stablecoin. This would be like your $1, your money. So I go to Circle, or USDC is the token that you guys know, but it's backed by Circle, or Circle is the company behind it. What I do is I go to Circle and I say, hey, here's $1, and they issue me 1 USDC. Now, you can't do it in that small amount. There is a limit on the amount that you guys can do, but that's the general concept, is you give up $1 and you get $1 of USDC. And every time you want to return your $1 worth of USDC, or 1 USDC, you get $1 back. Everyone's happy. Now, there's a second model. This is prominent in the crypto industry. This is like the DAI stablecoin, or like MIM from Abracadabra Money, or the My stablecoin from the Cheat Out team. Basically how this works is I say, hey, look, here is, it's not $20 worth of crypto, but the point is like I'm giving you more money than you issue me. So, hey, here's $20 for your $1 stablecoin. So I'm overpaying for a stablecoin. As in, I have to cough up more collateral in order to get a stablecoin. Now, you're saying, like, why the pants would someone do that? Well, the reason someone would want to do that is this $20, this could represent Bitcoin. I don't want to sell my Bitcoin, but I want to be able to have some stable coins so I can buy a house, or I can participate in DeFi, just different things I can do. So I slip you my Bitcoin and you issue me a stable coin. Now I'm happy. I can go take this, pay my bills, do what I need to do. And at the end of the day, when I get some more money back, whatever, I can take my $1 stable coin I borrowed from you and issue it back, and I get my Bitcoin back. And I'm happy, you're happy, we're all happy. Now, of course, you guys can see that's really not the perfect model, because if I'm giving you more assets than you can issue back to me, that's very inefficient. It's not capital efficient, and it's not sustainable long term. Hence why the DAI token price and market cap is pretty slow and steady going. I'll show you guys the chart later in this video. The next model is a fractionalized model. Now, this is fairly similar to the centralized model. There are a few things that are different. And how this would work is I would give you $1 worth of collateral, or $1 worth of whatever I'm giving to you. It depends on what the protocol accepts. And you're issuing me $1 worth of your stablecoin. However, the part that's different here is on the back end, when I'm giving that $1, a portion of that is being used to buy the funny money token. Now, you can also buy the funny money token and use that to purchase the stablecoin that you want, but this is what it's doing on the back end. I give you $1, but in the fractionalized model, if I go to redeem my assets back, I would only get 85 cents or 90 cents or whatever amount of token that is actually backed by a currency, and then the rest of it would be issued in the funny money token. So I would get a paperclip in exchange. So in this scenario, let's say it's 75% backed, I would go ahead and get 75 cents whenever I redeem my $1 token. Here you go. And I would get 75 cents, yeah, right there. And then they would give me a paperclip for my funny money. And I can sell my paperclip. My paperclip would get me the balance. So if it's 75% back, this will get me 25 cents. And then I'm at 75 cents here. So my fractionalized model is, well, I get 75 cents. Now, this one is capital efficient. It's actually more capital efficient because you don't have to put up as much capital as a one-to-one or with a over-collateralized model. However, you do have a scenario of a bank run. If everyone looks to withdraw and leave the system, there is a chance where not everybody can get out. But with the fractionalized model, at least if it is 80% backed by collateral, that would mean that at least every single person would get 80% of what they deposited. So at least it's not going to go to zero. But hey, it is what it is. You got to stay diversified, my friend. And of course, the last one is a algo stablecoin. This is like Luna. So this would be like this. If I want to get $1 worth of their stable, I would give them $1 worth of paperclip. So I say, here's my $1 worth of paperclip, which is AKA Luna, and they give me $1 worth of UST, which whenever I go back to redeem it, I get a paperclip. And the paperclip can be sold for $1. However, if there is a bank run scenario, this paperclip is no longer going to be worth $1, and it's kind of hard to keep up with the algo system. But TLDR, if there's a bank run scenario on a algo stablecoin, you have charts that look like this. As you guys can see here, that's not really a fun chart, but this is a bank run scenario. Now, this is what a fractionalized model looks like. This is the iron token. Now I know what you're saying, iron finance, oh, that went to zero. No, actually the stablecoin is at $1, almost at $1. Why is that? Well, because it still has some collateral backing it. The lowest it actually went was around 75 cents. Yeah, 75 cents because it was backed 75% by collateral. So if you're willing to wait it out, usually with these fractionalized stablecoins, in theory, they do go back to $1, at least what they've done in the past with both Frax and with Iron Token. If you guys want to see Frax, this isn't the price. This is just the market cap. Most people are flocking away from algo stablecoins, and they're also flocking away from anything that's fractionalized. And even then, people are actually flocking away from the DAI stablecoin too. People are, even though that the DAI stablecoin is over collateralized, people are still scared. They're going towards the centralized counterparts. And no, not just USDT. Most people are flocking away from USDT for other reasons because of FUD and not having proper backing and whatever. And most are actually going towards USDC. So right now, most are going towards USDC, or they're just going to straight cash and leaving the system. But these stablecoins are not hunky-dory. Centralized stablecoins are pretty cool, being that you can get one-to-one, but they have a history of freezing assets and freezing addresses. So some addresses that hold this USDC or USDT can actually be frozen by government entities or from anyone who's like, hey, look, we think this wallet is pretty suspicious, so we're going to freeze their money until further notice. Yeah, if you hold that USDC and USDT in your wallet, there is a chance they can freeze the money just for no reason. This is why people are looking for a decentralized stablecoin. This is why UST was coming into play. Now, I know what you're saying. Like, well, what about DAI? DAI is good. Well, DAI, a big portion of the backing of the DAI stablecoin is actually with USDC. So it's technically a wrapper for USDC. This is why there's different options that were coming out. Now, there are other tokens. This one is a fractionalized stablecoin, which is Frax. And yes, it's not 100% fully backed. It does have a little bit of USDC on its books, but it does create a alternative decentralized option. Now, there is one other decentralized stablecoin that is pegged to the pi number, like 3.14. It's a little bit down, but in general, this is actually backed by Ethereum. This was the original DAI stablecoin model, where it was only backed by ETH, but it's now backed by other assets, and that is kind of where RAI is generating its peg. So in general, there are other stablecoins as well, and there's not only the DAI stablecoin. Like I mentioned to you, you do have MEM. This is backed by several different assets. These are more so yield-bearing or interest-bearing assets, and same thing with the me stablecoin. These ones are over-collateralized models. So in theory, these do have a little bit less USDC on the books, which is better for decentralization metrics. I know what you're saying. You're like, what the snap? That was a lot of information. I don't even know where to start. And bro, it's okay. Take it easy. Take a chill pill. There are different things you can do. The worst thing you can do is panic. Stables are not meant to be a store of value. They're meant to be a medium of transfer. So these are temporary. You don't really want to leave your money sitting into these. And if you are doing that, remember they're pegged to the dollar. The dollar is a depreciating asset. It is constantly being inflated away. This is used as a medium of transfer. If you are looking to pick for stablecoins, look for ones that have over collateralization, in my opinion, just in case. Yeah, USDC, GUSD, or even USDT, you can use those and redeem them back to the banks or wherever you get them from. If you're a whale, if you aren't a whale, you're either going to have to swap for Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other stablecoins, etc. Yes, with USDC, you can sell it back to the exchange one-to-one, but in theory, you can't be like, hey bro, can I get all my cash back and withdraw it from the bank? No, it doesn't work like that. You have to be a big player. There are minimums that can be issued, but you can do it one-to-one. For example, GUSD, you can do that on Gemini, and for USDC, you can do that on Coinbase. Now, that does play in a factor that you're dealing with these centralized companies, and then if they close down, well, that's between you and them. That's why I say diversification is key between stables, just in case. In my opinion, it's okay to have it between all kinds of different stables, and the reason being is if one goes to zero, well, you still got stables in the other one. If you have all of it in USDC, sure, it can be backed one-to-one, but what if the assets are frozen? Well, what the snap? Then you can't use your stable coins anyway, so it's theoretically zero. Or if the company that issued the stablecoin closes down just for some odd reason and you can't get your money back, well, you're roasted. You also cannot get your money back. So if you guys are looking in cryptocurrency and looking where to store your wealth, when in doubt, for the long term, me personally, I look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are good stores of value for the crypto industry, and in general, they do have a thing called God's money, and that is gold and silver. Those have stood the test of time. So let's sum up where we are at so far. 4 of the main types of stablecoins: centralized, over-collateralized, fractional, and algo stablecoins. The key and what you should do is be diversified between these stablecoins and not throw all your eggs in one basket. As for stablecoin regulation, I do see some regulation coming in the future, especially with what happened after UST, but time will tell. We'll see what happens. Let's go and hit you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 15 verses 17. Better a small serving of vegetables with love than a fattened calf with hatred. Man, that's really good. I mean, think about it. Bear market right now, you get some vegetables and love. This is awesome. Whereas normally it would be like steak time when you're killing it in the markets. But it is what it is. And today in this video, guys, I want to talk to you guys about DeFi Legos. Now, you hear this term all the time, and a lot of people are like, what is a DeFi Lego? In this video, I want to explain to you guys what a DeFi Lego is and how it is a game changer to DeFi. Let me go ahead and give you guys a couple of examples and go ahead and give you guys a couple of definitions. For me, examples are the best way to understand something, so let's give you the example of aave. This is a DeFi Lego. I go over to aave, I lend out my DAI, and I get a DAI in return. This a DAI, I can use it with other protocols to get a loan against it, or I can leverage against it. That is what a DeFi Lego would be. So aave would be one DeFi Lego, and Abracadabra money would be another DeFi Lego. And I can build and combine both of these to make something completely different. Like a self-repaying loan, for example. How a self-repaying loan would work is I go to aave, I lend my DAI, I get a yield, I go over to Abracadabra. I can combine those strategies into a vault like Yearn Finance. So I can now take that loan that I got to use it in a strategy to earn additional yield and create these self-repaying loans. Now, how will this reshape DeFi? And how is this going to be a game changer? Well, before in normal DeFi, it would just be you deposit tokens into here and you can earn a yield, or you can deposit tokens into here and you can LP and get a portion of the fees, etc. But now with these different DeFi Legos, you can create more complex strategies and have more creative results that come out of this. Self-repaying loans, that's unheard of. And this is able to change DeFi as we know it. Let me give you an example of liquid staking. This is the problem with traditional staking. If I want to support the network, I have to stake. Why should I be penalized though for supporting the network? When I say penalized, I mean when you stake, your tokens are locked. You cannot use them in DeFi. You can't do anything with them. You're just staking, earning a yield as in the staking returns, and that's it. But with liquid staking, you can now stake your tokens, earn a yield on them, support the network, and you still have your value unlocked so you can use that in DeFi. So you don't have the golden handcuffs, so you can go play around. This unlocks so much liquidity, whereas before it would just be staking. Now, how do you look for strong DeFi tokens? Well, there are a couple of things, but the main ones you want to look for is first, how do they interoperate and integrate with other protocols and what they're doing? I want to give an example of Aave, because Aave is a really well-known dApp. Aave is used in several different things. People leverage off Aave and use it to create self-repaying loans, allow you to borrow against it, or you can even just simply use creative vault strategies like in Yearn Finance. The reason why Aave is a very strong token is because it's widely used. Its team is always building, and they're coming up with things that you haven't seen before. I'm not saying like it's a one-all be-all, Aave, I'm all in type of thing, but they are a good example of what to look for. Have a team that is always building and coming up with different things and creative things, and that's what I want to get behind. Another example of this is Andre Cronje and Daniel Sesta. Now, both of these developers create very creative strategies and come up with different DeFi primitives that are changing the way we know DeFi. For example, Daniel Sesta, behind Abracadabra Money, he's able to use that platform to have interest-bearing assets that are able to be borrowed against. So now you are able to create these self-repaying loans, in my opinion, are a game changer. Those are some of my favorite ones because now you can take the power of leverage, repay a loan, and you can use that to still play in DeFi. It is just mind-boggling to be able to see the power of that, but it's cool stuff. And then Andre Cronje being able to create like a multi-chain DEX. So if you're trying to swap some Ethereum for some Phantom token, you can literally go from one chain to the next. That, in my opinion, is a game changer. That is taking upon different DeFi Legos. Now, how is it taking on different DeFi Legos? Well, say, for example, you're swapping on Uniswap on Ethereum, and you're swapping on, Spooky Swap on Phantom. That is how. Because you're going from Spirit Swap, using a bridge, now you're going from that bridge to Spooky Swap, making the swap, and then putting it on the chain that you want. There's a lot of steps involved, but using these DeFi Legos, you can make it a seamless process all into one. There's an exchange that does this now. It's called Rango Exchange. So it allows you to swap from one chain to another. So now that you understand the powers of these, what are the DeFi Legos that you want to look for? Well, you want to look for ones that are A, coming up with things that you've never seen or heard of before and get behind that type of team. Not financial advice, of course, but usually a team that is constantly developing is usually keen to developing more and more stuff that is more creative. This is also important. Getting behind a team like that is because it creates more sticky liquidity. So now this is going to be like, hey, I know this protocol is good for this, they're good for that. Let me go ahead and use them and go to their dApp because I know I can get a really good yield there. A good example is, hey, I need to go borrow something, and where do I go? Oh, well, Aave's here. Oh, okay, I'll go to Aave. You don't go to like some Pizza Finance or Pizza Swap. No, you go to Aave because you know and trust it. It's like going to a foreign country and you're hungry. You don't know what to eat, but you see a Pizza Hut. You know Pizza Hut, Pizza Hut's Pizza Hut. You can expect what to get out of it. You don't go to some like podunk pig hog shop or whatever you want to call it, and you go in there and you're like, oh my goodness, dude, this is nasty. That's how you can understand it. So you want to look for teams and people that are constantly developing and reshaping the DeFi industry as we know it. Now, I want to give another example of convex because I really think examples are the best way to learn something, so you guys can look at these examples and figure out which tokens are the best for you. I like convex is because it leverages a DeFi Lego and brings it to the next level. And what do I mean by this? Well, Curve is a DeFi Lego. This is where you can go for stable swaps and get the best rates, best yields, etc. Well, not best yields, but better yields. And when you make a swap there, it's hunky-dory, it's awesome, it does what it does. But convex flips this on its head and it's like, okay, bro, we can use this and we can take this to the next level. So what we're going to do is we are going to get the Curve token. We're going to vote to the different pools that we list and create the best rates possible. So people are incentivized to come over there, provide liquidity, and deposit tokens there. And when they do that, now they're owning more of the market share for voting on the pools. So now they have the power to take the Curve Lego block, direct the liquidity where they want to direct it, and now you have a DeFi Lego block that is for governance, for voting for these different pools. And someone else can build on the convex Lego block by saying, okay, I want to direct liquidity to my pool, so instead of purchasing Curve, I actually have a better incentive to purchase convex. So I'm going to purchase convex and direct the liquidity my way. So that is another chance for convex to be able to use the Curve token. Now that is an entirely different DeFi Lego block. One who is already doing this is Redacted. They're buying convex so they can earn more of the convex, so they can have more of a say where Curve puts its token yields. So now you have a Lego block for giving liquidity, you have a Lego block for directing liquidity, and you have a Lego block for owning liquidity. So many different things involved in that. And just building on these Lego blocks are going to be a game changer. Now you can even leverage that governance token or that redacted token and leverage against that as well. Someone who is already doing this is Wonderland. Wonderland, you have different governance tokens inside that. You can get exposure to all of them, and yet you can still wrap your governance token, borrow against it, and you can use that in DeFi. That's how you can look at Lego blocks. Lego blocks are basically stacking on each other or building with each other to create something entirely different. If you guys want to hear about the Lego blocks that I'm talking about and the ones that I'm most bullish on and see what strategies I'm using in the market, you guys can jump in the Discord. It's Patreon link in the description below. Basically what will be there is more exclusive content that's not on YouTube and just some different strategies I'm doing in the market. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let's go and leave you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 20 verses 8. When a king sits on his throne to judge, he winnows out all the evil with his eyes. Guys, you ain't getting around that king. He knows better. Today in this video, guys, I want to keep it as short as I possibly can, but I want to show you guys where are the best options if you're trying to invest $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, or even more than that. Let's go ahead and get into this video, and we're going to talk about the chains, coins, and what you guys should be looking at. Let's go ahead and start with the first example of $100. When you're farming or using $100 in crypto, you need to look for the lower gas fee chains. You want to look for ones like Matic, Harmony, Aurora, Celo, Osmosis, Solana, and a couple of other Cosmos chains. Now, what do all these chains have in common? Well, one is either the transactions are a penny or sub-penny, or they are free. Now, the reason why I mentioned that on the gas fees is because if you're taking $100 and paying $1 a transaction or even 50 cents a transaction, you do a lot of transactions when you're playing in cryptocurrency. Now, using $100 isn't going to limit you from using like Phantom or using other chains like Avalanche, but just keep in mind when you're using those, you want to go in different farms and protocols where you're just basically going to sit it and forget it, or at least not touch it again for at least another month. Because if you're constantly doing these transactions, you're going to eat into the profits. If you aren't making any profits, there's no point in being in DeFi. Now, let's say, for example, you want to play with $1,000. This will open up your limits a little bit more. So now you can play around with some more stuff. So this is still going to be on the lower gas fee chains, but now you can start using Phantom, Luna, Binance Smart Chain a little bit more freely. Now, the reason why I say Binance Smart Chain and Luna a little bit more freely, not unlimited, because your gas fees are still a cost. There are some transactions on Luna that are as cheap as 3 cents, and then there are some as expensive as about $2.67 or $2.50. Same thing with Binance Smart Chain. They have some as cheap as maybe 40 cents, but as some as high as maybe $2-3. So if you're only playing with $1,000, and say for example you make 10 transactions on Binance Smart Chain that are $3 a pop, that's $30 right there. And if you're making a, let's say, 30% APR on $1,000 per year, that's going to make you only $300. Now you minus the $30, and then that go ahead and, well, put you back at $270 in profit for the year. That is just minus the 10 transactions. I bet your buns you're going to do more transactions than that. You may see some of these YouTubers who are on like transaction 444,001. And then you're like, what the snap? 440,001? That's crazy. Well, just say, for example, those transactions were a penny a pop. So that means that YouTuber would have spent over $4,000 in transactions. If you're playing with $1,000, well, you're going to be down to hold that year. Now, of course, that's a lot of transactions. It's a bad example, but everything's relative. So if that's a penny a transaction, let's say they're $1 a transaction. All you got to do is make 300 transactions, and there goes your whole profit for the full year. Well, that happens. It's pretty crazy. Now, the next one I want to talk to you, that's at 30% APRs, by the way, guys. So if you're only getting 10%, that only limits you to 100 transactions just to break even. Now, you don't want to break even in DeFi because you're taking on so much risk. It's like, bro, if you're breaking even, you're actually losing in DeFi because you have that money at risk. So, nah, bro. Now, let's talk about the next amount, which is 10,000. Now, 10,000, I think you'd be free to play on like Avalanche, Luna, Arbitrum, Binance Smart Chain, Metis, and very, very, very few Ethereum transactions. This would be something like you buy, stake, and then come back like 2 years later and unstake it type of thing. You don't want to mess with the Ethereum transactions. Those are like $50, $60 a pop, and it's like nuts and ham. But going back to Avalanche, Luna, and Arbitrum, Avalanche is going, depending on the transaction and obviously depending on the Avalanche price and the complexity of the contract, those are probably going to be $1 plus, maybe $2, $3, and those are going to set you back a bit. It's the same thing with Luna. You probably don't want to do a bunch of transactions, but if you're playing around with $10,000, you can do a little more than the $1,000 tier. The TLDR on setting these ratios is you want to figure out what your profits are and what your potential profits are, because these are not set in stone, and give a bit of wiggle room. So say, for example, I am set to make 10% this year on $10,000. That means my profits would be $1,000. Me personally, I wouldn't want to see myself spending more than $100 in gas fees or $150 in gas fees. If my profits are only going to be $1,000, I only want to spend 10% of those profits in gas fees, max. I mean, you can spend more if you want, but you're really just cutting into your profits at that point in time. Keep in mind, when you're playing around with DeFi, it is risky, and if you're not making profits with the risk, it's not worth it because you can lose all that money. Now again, I'll use the example. This is what I look for. If I'm using $10,000 and my APRs are 10%, that means my profit is $1,000. Because if it's 10%, that's a tenth. So 0.1 times 10,000, that's going to give me $1,000. And then of course I'd multiply that by 10%. That's going to be the $100. So you divide by 10, and that's where I get the $100. So $100 is my allowance for my gas fees. So I want to go with chains where I can use the $100 and not be sapped super quick. If I'm on ETH and I have $100, well, I can do like 2 or 3 transactions and then I'm done. I'll call it the end of the year and I'll come back next year type of thing. That's how you want to play with the ETH transactions. And then the last one we're going to talk about is $100,000 plus. You are free to go on any chain you want at this point, but try to limit your transactions. Remember, a good metric I like to use is 10% of your profits. So if my profits are going to be $1,000, I'm going to do 10% of that. So that means I will only pay gas fees in $100. But say my profits are $10,000. Well, then I'm fine spending $1,000 in gas fees. It's just the cost of doing business. Now, if I'm making $100,000, then I'm fine with $10,000 in gas fees. That's how you can factor it in. I like to use the metric of 10% of your profits. So if your profits, again, are $1,000, then it's $100. It's not 10% of how much you put in, it's of profits. And keep in mind, if you're not taking profits, well, then there goes your gas fee allowance. You need to be taking profits so you can be paying for gas fees. Remember, it's all a numbers game. It's a math game. Now, if you're investing in different farms and trying to find different ones, now that you understand which chain you need to be on, what do you need to look for? Well, first, you need to find the narrative. If the narrative is Curve Wars, or the narrative is Ohm Forks, or Olympus DAO, then that's what you need to look for. Don't go investing in some like random coin that's like, oh yeah, this is the next big thing because it's sliced bread. No, because you got turkey tacos over here. Go get the turkey tacos. They taste so much better. Never had them, but the point is turkey tacos are in season, so you go with that and move along. Second, remember the name of the game. Not financial advice, but me personally, I look to accumulate as much Bitcoin and Ethereum as possible. That's the name of the game. That's what I figured out playing this crypto game. It's getting as much BTC and ETH as possible. Next, if you start small, you want to find the narrative that works, and you can do it by farming. Just like I told you need to find the narrative. Just because you find the next big coin, you don't have to go flat out and buy it. You can farm a lot of these coins. Let me give you an example. The Curve Forks. If you don't want to go buy Curve, you can just farm Curve with stablecoins. Your risk at this point is your opportunity cost. Whereas if I took my $1,000 and farmed on Curve, or if I took my $1,000 and I just bought something else, that is my opportunity cost. If Curve goes to zero, well, I still have my $1,000. So the cost I lost was, well, the opportunity cost to bring that $1,000 elsewhere. That is a safe play to go. That's why I like farming. Not financial advice, of course. Next is don't try to hit a home run every time. If you're up $1,000 or up $100, don't be like, oh yeah, I know it's going to get $200. Don't be greedy. Take a win. Move on to the next. Take the small wins. Move on to the next. Eventually, if you get 10 wins of $100 a pop, then that puts you at $1,000. And then if you get 10 wins at $1,000 a pop, that puts you at $10,000. So if you factor that in, it's compounding gains. Whereas if you were to go into a farm and you throw in $100, you lose it all. You start over with another $100, you lose it all. You're constantly at 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and you're starting over. Whereas Johnny is back over there doing push-ups in the background and is just like wrecking everyone and is destroying it. And you're over here eating potato chips by just going all in onto a farm and just like, oh, I'm up $200. I'll wait till tomorrow. And then it goes to 0 and you're like, man, we'll try this again. And then you try it again and do the same junk, different day. Definition of insanity. Trying to get a different result by doing the same thing over and over. Doesn't work. Now, next, don't be afraid to miss out on something. There's always another opportunity. Now, next, don't go into more than a few farms or positions at once, especially when you're first starting out. If you literally have 100 different farms or 10 different farms, it's really hard to manage them. It's really hard to look at one and be like, okay, here's the metrics I need to pull out now. I spent $1,000 over here and I'm already at $400 in profit. Should I pull out? It's hard to do. Limit it to 2 or 3, if not 1. That is the best play to do in my opinion. That way you can focus your energy on it and figure out if it's working out or not. Then when you get more experienced, you can look into diversifying into other farms. Now, these are for degen farms. If you're in something that is more stable and is something that is more proven, then you can be in a couple more farms like that. But degen farms, try to limit those because those can go to zero like that. It is crazy. Now, next, do not be afraid to miss out on something. There's always going to be another opportunity. I heard this saying, it was a really, really smart saying, but you make more money on the deals that you don't do. I really think this applies to crypto because you actually make more money on the farms you don't get into. What do I mean by this? Say, for example, you see a farm on another chain and everyone's pumping it, they're talking about it, it's like the next big thing. And say you try to go move over there. You move on the bridge and whoa, to your surprise, the bridge is down. It's congested. So your funds are stuck there 2 days. You finally get over, the farm's over. You missed out. You would have made more money on not doing that deal and then farming with the stable coin on the chain you were already on. That's just an example. I'm just saying that from personal experience. I actually went into an opportunity like that and I realized, oh, well, the bridge is kind of doo-doo right now and I would have been better off just staying here. Just something to keep in mind. Lastly, pray to him. It's all in his hands. He'll take care of it. I want to leave you guys with this verse. Luke 22 verses 24. Consider the ravens. They don't sow, they don't reap, yet they have a house and God feeds them. How much more valuable are you than those birds? I'll leave a couple of my favorite farming rules below so you guys can review them and take a look into them. These were some of the farming rules I used to have on the channel all the time, especially when I was doing the degen farming. And I'll leave a link in the description below to the Patreon. This is going to be more exclusive content that's not on YouTube. And there's a lot more alpha in there that I don't show on YouTube. Just a quick TLDR on the farming rules. It's don't lose money. Don't invest what you're not willing to lose. Diversify your risk. Don't buy what you can earn. Don't pay those 4% deposit fees. If you don't know where the yield is coming from, you are the yield. Always take profits. 99.999999999% of the farming token is going to go to zero. Do you want to be the bag holder? See you in the next one. Today, me and Puffy the Mic are going to go ahead and go over a couple of rules in yield farming. Guys, if you have been living under a rock, well, let me go ahead and fill you in. We've had a couple rug pulls. We had Iron Finance. We had Krill, which is also known as Polywhale, and about a list of 8 other projects that literally just did some rug pulls and soft rugs. And man, why don't they have any shaggy rugs? All right, guys, today we're going to get white and nerdy. So let's go ahead and go over a couple things, guys. In this video, though, I got to tell you one thing. It's going to be short. So stay tuned. I'm going to be quick. I'm not going to be long. I got the nerd scene going on. So anyways, guys, 3 things for me: like, subscribe, bell button, leave a comment below in the description saying you subscribed. You'll automatically get thrown into the drawing to earn that $100 in free BTC. And guys, how do you like the black drop? You get it? Black drop. Anyways, guys. All right. So the first rule, don't lose money. That is the very first rule. Okay. So why is that the first rule? Well, no one does this to lose money. So that's just my first rule. Guys, these are Drake's rules in farming. If you guys have other rules, go ahead and add on to them as long as they aren't losing money. But anyways, rule 2, don't invest what you're not willing to lose. So a lot of people are like, the markets are crashing. Man, I just got rug pulled. Man, there goes all my money. Okay, guys, first, you didn't follow rule number 2. Which is don't invest what you're not willing to lose. You also failed rule number 1, don't lose money. But hey, it's okay. Third, diversify risk. All right, guys. So if you're like, Iron Finance, dude, it already went up 10x. It's got to go up another 10x. Really? It does? Okay. Tell me how that works out for you. Guys, don't throw all your eggs in one basket. Spread them out, split them out. That way one yield farm just goes rugs, then you're like, bruh, it's okay. You only took $1,000. I got $1 million in this other account. That's all right. Rug me all you want. Well, don't get too cocky because the guy who's holding your million is probably going to rug you real quick. That's how it always happens. Next is Don't buy what you can earn. Okay, why do I say this? Well, first off, these tokens, guys, they're Ponzonomics. They're going to zero. If they aren't going to zero, 99.9999999999999% of them are going to go to zero. Just trust me. Fire Sauce says so. It says it's going to zero. If it says it's going to zero, Fire Sauce is right. If he's wrong, that's okay. His sister Hot Sauce says it's going to zero. That's what happens. It's going to zero. Cinnamon sticks, they say it's going to zero. Tissues, they say it's going to zero. Like tissues, seriously, you guys remember that commercial? You need a tissue? All right, guys. Anyways, it's going to zero. If it's not going to zero, it's basically going to zero. 99.99999. Okay. Anyways, you get the point. Don't buy what you can earn. If you can earn it, I don't know. You earn it. If you can earn it, turn it. I don't know, whatever. Turn it to stables. I don't know what that means, but get your principal back. 5, don't pay 4% deposit fees. Even when they do work, guys, 99% of the other times, it's not going to work because you aren't that good. I'm not that good. But if you are, good for you because no one else is like you. So 4% fees, they're there for a reason. It's part of the Ponzonomics. If you're getting in there and you don't know if you're early, well, then you're probably late. If you think you're early, you're still late. If you hear it on YouTube, you're definitely late. If you hear it in a Twitter forum or Reddit forum, you're definitely late. The 4% fee is for those noobs who are late. Don't pay the fees. Don't go for it. 6, if you don't know where the yield is coming from, you are the yield. Wow, you just found it. Good for you, Johnny. So now you figured out who the yield is. Don't be the yield. If you figure out you're the yield, don't be that yield, aka don't pay 4% deposit fees, yada yada yada. You guys get the point. And number 7, we already went over this. Always take profits. Well, we didn't go over it, but still, always take profits. You guys need to get your principal back. 99.9999999999999% of these farms are going to go to zero. These farming tokens. Do you want to be the bag holder? Probably not. But these tokens are going to go to zero. And even when they don't, they'll probably rug pull on you. And even when they don't rug pull and they don't go to zero, they'll just do both. And they'll rug pull and go to zero. And if they don't even do any of those, then they'll probably just get hacked. And then they blame it on just being hacked when in theory, they really just took the token to zero and they rug pulled on you. But it's okay. We're in crypto, right? Happy farming, guys. This is not financial advice. And of course, guys, these rules only apply after checking out the code, making sure it's secure or somewhat secure. They've had some audits. I mean, that is not a one-all be-all, but it helps, guys. Because what is rule number 1? Don't lose money. Have fun, guys. That's the biggest thing. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, we shall leave you guys with a wisdom one-liner. We're going to do it off screen because we're just going to do it with me staring at my face with the black drop. Get it, guys? Black drop. Okay. No one gets it. It's okay. All right. Proverbs chapter 23, verses 17. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but always be zealous for the fear of the Lord. There is surely a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. We are going to talk about how you guys can use your ETH, well, not USDC, but yeah, you can use that too if you want, but your ETH and your Bitcoin, or quote unquote your assets, your HODL bags, to be able to loan against them and take advantage of them in DeFi. The reason why I'm making this video is a member of our Discord server asked and said, hey, I would like to see a video on this, how you can cover like what you can use and what are the goods, bads, pros, cons, etc. of using them in different protocols. So I'm going to shrink my face so you guys can see what's up. That's some juicy APYs on some Ample. If you guys don't know about that Ample. Like TLDR, guys, keep in mind the reason why these are so high is because the market size total borrowed is fully capped. So that's why it's so high. Basically, if you deposit it into the pool, you can't withdraw right now. So that's something to understand, but I'm not going to explain it in this video. Today in this video, we're going to talk about how you can use your ETH and your BTC to use as collateral to make bank. Well, actually have fun in DeFi. So here's a couple things you guys need to know. So right now we are going to use, well, Aave protocol, for example. Let's go ahead and look at the APRs on Wrap Bitcoin. So right now this is 0.01%, and you can also get 1.29% APR. Not really anything. I mean, sure, you can also look into it like, hey, maybe I can deposit and just like earn nothing on it. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do. It really doesn't matter. What we're taking into consideration are the concepts of getting this loan. So my face just got phantomized. So let's go ahead and get this keep on top. So with Bitcoin, this is something you need to keep in mind. Right now, we can deposit into here. We can buy or borrow up to 70% of our value. Now, why is this important? Well, with 70% of the value, if you deposit, let's say, for example, you deposit 1 Bitcoin and it's worth $100,000, you can borrow $70,000. So you can actually use this Bitcoin anywhere you want in DeFi, and best part about it, it's tax-free. Why is that? Because you did not make a buy or a sell. It's literally a loan. So it's free money, and you don't have taxes with it. Obviously, you need to talk to your accountant and confirm that with him, whatever, yada, yada, yada. You guys get the disclaimers. I'm not an accountant, not a financial advisor, not financial advice. I'm not a tax dude or tax accountant, whatever you call it. No, this is just like explaining it to you because you're not making a buy or a sell. Now, you have to keep in mind when you're borrowing here, you do have a APY. You can do a stable or you can do a variable. Like right now, it's 0.35%, which is really low. However, if you think in the future it's going to be a lot more expensive to borrow Bitcoin, well, then you can look at the stable one, which is a 3.5%. Now, that is something to keep in mind. Obviously, you make your decisions accordingly, whatever you guys want to do. But yeah, that's just TLDR on that. Now, this is the second thing you can do. Well, back when I was saying borrow Bitcoin, no, you borrow stable coins, not Bitcoin. And your stablecoin APY right now is actually 17%, not 0.35. I'm sorry, I was reading you the Bitcoin one. But the second thing you can do is you can borrow a stablecoin. So right now, I'm going to get rid of my face. Let's just go and bring it up here. The stablecoin APRs, depending on what you borrow, you can actually borrow some SUSD for a lower price, and you can use this to buy more Bitcoin or buy whatever you want, and it is actually a lower rate. So what you can do is you can buy this coin, and well, you can just say, yeah, I'm going to buy this coin and I'm going to use it in DeFi and stake it elsewhere. So you can earn, the reason why these yields are high is because people can earn interest elsewhere or a higher interest elsewhere by farming with them. That's why these rates are so high. Now, don't just sit and go on Ethereum for all the rates. You can actually go on different rates itself, like on, for example, on Polygon, the borrow rates are way lower. Like the borrow DAI is only 12% instead of like 23%. Now, they're actually really high right now on Polygon. Wow, what the snap? That's crazy. Crazy sauce. Same thing on Avalanche. Just see what the APRs are. So here's a strategy. What you can use is like this DAI here, right here. You're paying 3.97%. You can borrow it here. And then you can bring it over onto Polygon, deposit it here, and earn 8.91%. Yes, you got to go through the bridge process, and it's annoying. But basically, it's just free money, and you're earning just if you minus the amount that you have to pay and minus the amount that you have to pay from the amount that you're earning, that is the amount you're walking away with. So it's literally just free money. So you can actually deposit your Ethereum, your Bitcoin, and you can borrow stables against that and use that in DeFi anywhere that you want. Like literally, it's just like your money and free money. And when you're done with it, all you do is you repay your loan. Yes, it will have some interest on it. So hopefully you earn more money with that stable coin. And say you earned $100 more than what you deposited, you just repay the loan and you just got a free $100 for nothing. And you still have your Bitcoin. Obviously, as long as you didn't get liquidated and so on. And on top of that, you have some interest on the Bitcoin now. I know it's a measly interest rate, but say you got $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, probably love to get, well, a free $600,000 just for nothing. That's 0.06% for you. But hey, why not? Oh, I mean, $600,000 for kicks. I'll take it. I mean, dude, that's awesome. So, I mean, it's just free money for that. And then obviously whatever you earned in DeFi. And you can also use other protocols like Geese Finance. Geese Finance pays very well. It actually used to pay way better. But keep in mind, you need to understand how the APRs are factored in. Like the APY on top, that's what you're getting in the stablecoin or whatever that coin is you deposit, and they do fluctuate from time to time. So just keep in mind, don't make it like bread and butter. Like, this is like what it is. If I don't get any more, then I'm going to be mad. I can't do it. Da, 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 da. No, don't place all your bets on it by making like 1%. I mean, at that point in time, it's just a lot of risk right there. You want to factor in, you want to be able to make multiple percentages. So the risk reward has to be worth it to do it because you're taking on smart contract risk. Now, when you look at the APYs, you're like, oh, and also factor in gas fees. Now, when you're looking at the APRs and APYs, look at the bottom one. So this bottom one is paid in the Ponzi token. So it's not always the case that a protocol is going to pay you to use it. It's pretty common right now that the protocol is paying to use it. So in this case, it's paying an APR in Geese. Now what's important is this APR is fluctuated based on the price of Geese. So if Geese was to double from here, this APR would double from here. However, if Geese was to go in half from here, this APR would be cut in half. So technically the yields you would have earned were cut in half. So that's something to keep in mind with these. But again, same junk, different day. You can take these stable coins or whatever you borrow, use them in DeFi and earn a higher yield. It's basically taking on a quote-unquote leverage position to farm with. It's different than leverage trading. Leverage is good in a scenario if you know what you're doing with it. Like, for example, in real estate, this is a real-life thing, what you can do. Very risky. Like, don't get me wrong, this is super risky. But what you can do is you can get a house, you own it free and clear, or if you own it, you can get a mortgage against it. You take that money, you can buy another house, and then that house that you find, you fill it with the tenant, and the tenant starts paying the rent, you're paying down the mortgage, you get a mortgage against that house, you buy another house with it, the tenant starts paying rent over there, now you got income coming from that house, income coming from this house, and you're living in this house, so you're basically living it in for free because the mix of the two incomes are finally paying that off, so you get a free house or you get free living expenses here, eventually paying it off because you're paying off the mortgage. These two houses, the tenants are slowly paying them off. So those two houses are nice. And then eventually I can get a mortgage against this new house I just bought. Take that money, go buy another house. Now that house is bringing in money from another tenant. Now the tenant is quote unquote actually paying off that house for me. I'm taking that money and now it's profitable because, well, instead of, paying the bill at my house, now they're actually paying me. My expenses are paid for. So now I'm making a little bit. And now I can take that income I'm starting to earn, buy a new house, get a mortgage on this new house I just bought. Now I can take that money, buy another house, earn more interest, as in like earning more rent from another house. You guys get the point. And eventually I have a bunch of houses. And then after 20, maybe 15 years, maybe 25 years, depending on how successful it is, I get all these houses free and clear. And that's not even factoring in the appreciation of real estate. Say, for example, real estate doubles. Well, now that's awesome. I mean, the debt I owed is whatever the dollar was back then. Everyone knows the dollar 10 years ago can buy way less than it buys now. It's literally worth less, like literally worthless, but it is worth less than it is now. Worthless. That's a meme itself. But anyways, guys, you get the point. That's real world DeFi and real estate. Also, you guys are asking what I'm going to add on this channel, bear, bull market, etc. I still will talk about crypto, but in a bear market and I guess you can say diversification, I'm going to start doing some Discord videos as well, talking about like different real estate strategies. Basically, I can own a house with no money down. It's called assignment of contracts, but for a later market, that's for when we're not in a bull market having a bunch of fun. But anyways, guys, make sure you guys stay diversified. Just wanted to make this video for one of our members over at Discord. And if you guys want to jump in the Discord, links in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. And let's go ahead and leave you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 15 verses 19. The way of a sluggard is blocked with thorns, but the path of the upright is a highway. That's how it rolls, baby. I like that. I'll take that junk. Anyways, guys, links in the description below. If you guys want to know what Discord's about, basically we talk about alpha. We talk about different crypto projects. My thanks, and thunks on the markets and what I'm doing in the crypto markets, and well, some private videos I talk about over there that I don't really publish on YouTube. And there's some referral links in the description below if you guys want to sign up for Voyager, Celsius, BlockFi, whatever. It's in the description below. We'll see you guys in the next one. And today in this video, guys, we're going to talk about governance tokens. And are they worth keeping? Are they useful? Are they useless? Let's go and explain all that and more. And guys, I got my handy dandy notes. I got Puffy the mic. We organized. We're going to stay straight. And we're going to go ahead and break this down today. Yeah, I know it's kind of like cheat codes. You guys already know what I'm talking about. But they're my self notes. I mean, dude, use for bribes. What's use for bribes? Okay, let's go and get into governance tokens. I want to talk about 3 different things. First, I'm going to talk about what they can be used for. Second, I'm going to give examples of some. Third, I'm going to explain the risks involved in if all governance tokens are the same. Now, what is a governance token used for? Well, first off, it's used for bribes. Bribes are very, very important. If you guys don't believe me, take a look at Curve. So, do you guys remember those bribe wars? If you didn't remember it, basically TLDR on what happened was people who owned the Curve token, the Curve DAO token, they could vote where they gave the incentives. And why are incentives important? Well, I don't LP or provide liquidity in a pool to earn no rewards and take on all that risk. However, if I'm getting rewards, I may take on that risk. It's called yield farming. So with the votes, or the strategy was to obtain all these Curve DAO tokens and direct liquidity, or say, hey, look, we want to incentivize this pool and send it to that pool to pay the incentives. So like, say for example, I have my protocol is Frax, and I want my Frax token to have more liquidity. Well, how do you get more liquidity? So what I could do is I could purchase the Curve token, and I can say, all right, I want to vote and say, hey, we should use 33% or 30% of the liquidity incentives that we have, and we should send them to this pool. And then it's like, okay, yeah, let's do it. So then it gives the tokens there. So in order for me to actually vote, I need to have the Curve DAO token. Another option I could use is I could give out my governance token. But the problem with giving out your own governance token is the APRs are dependent on your token value. So if your token value is consistently going down, the APRs are going to go down, and I wouldn't be incentivized to provide liquidity. So it would be my best incentive to use someone else's token first, because it's not going to dilute the value of my coin. Second is because, well, if they have a good, strong history of keeping at somewhat of a price and more people are competing with the governance token of that and trying to have Curve bribe wars, people are going to buy the token. So that's going to keep the APRs high, which incentivizes more people to provide liquidity to get those lucrative APRs. And as always, green button means up, red button means down. I know this is a lot of junk and it may go over your head, but look at it like this. In order to vote, you have to have the quote-unquote Curve token. So with the bribe strategy, they're actually able to use a quarter or maybe a little more, maybe a little less of the actual assets they were going to give out as rewards by just giving out as bribes. And they will create more liquidity over there because Curve is a massive protocol. That's just one of the things. Second, you can make decisions that matter. Now, there are certain governance tokens that are straight doo-doo. Actually, a lot of them are. But there are some that are very important, aka Curve bribes. You basically get paid to vote. You get paid by other protocols. So it's almost like free airdrops. It's a great source of passive income, and people use that for that. That is the second. You can make decisions that matter, and you can even say, hey, I really think we should do this for this protocol. I really think it'll expand. Or, hey, we should add this liquidity pool because it could really expand. And hang on, listen to what I just said. Hey, I think we should add this liquidity pool because it would really help our protocol. Now, let that sink in. I'm a new project, and I want to get liquidity. What do? Well, I go vote and I get Curve tokens, or I bribe people to vote to put my liquidity pool there. so people can provide liquidity, and I direct rewards there. I automatically solve the problem I have. I have a liquidity pool on one of the largest DeFi platforms, and I have rewards going there. People are interested. People are farming. It's creating liquidity for my token. Everyone's happy. Okay? Get the point. Third, basically a ticket in the community. So a good example of this is a CryptoPunk. Now, if you're in the CryptoPunk community and you don't have a CryptoPunk, it's literally like going into a store naked. People just are like, bro, you can't be a part of this community without that CryptoPunk. It's the same thing as being a OMI. So like an Olympus DAO, if you want to be an OMI, you have to hold OM. It's period. That's how you got to be an OMI. So if you aren't an OMI or holding OM, you're basically just like, whatever. Yeah, you're not a part of our community. So these are used as like tickets to be a part of the community. So something to keep in mind as well. I know it doesn't seem like a lot to most, but take a look at this. How many people spend so much money on like their avatars in video games? They spend a lot because they feel it's a part of the community. Another example. Why do people spend so much money with the CryptoPunk? Because they want to feel they are not being left behind and they want to feel involved. Another example. Why do people buy like Rolex, Louis Vuitton, or a Rolls Royce? Just buy a regular car. It's the same junk, different day. It does the same thing. Well, because they want to be a part of that quote unquote elite status. They want to feel involved. They want to feel a part of the community. They want to feel like, bro, you got Rolex, I got Rolex, we Rolex. No. So just so you guys get the point. 4, sometimes you can get a share of the protocol fees. Not all the governance tokens do this, but most of them do this. Actually, a lot of them do this. Examples are FXS. Another example is Tokamak. Another example is Curve, Olympus DAO. You guys get the point. Now let's go and give a couple of protocol examples that are kind of, you can consider them the DeFi OGs. Curve, I already gave the example of that, but basically Curve is just like a backbone in DeFi for being able to swap stablecoin between stablecoins. Olympus DAO, you guys know about OM. Just imagine this. If you're wanting OM or Olympus to purchase your tokens and store them in the treasury, what do? Well, you got to get OM and vote on it. Or if you want to release your token and have the Olympus DAO blessing, what do? You airdrop the token holders, you bribe the OM holders, the OMIs, and have them vote your protocol in to give a share of the treasury. You guys can look at OM like basically a decentralized venture capital or VC that actually gives investing fund or investing capital, or you can consider it like an angel investor for protocols that need funds and money. And of course, they would get the blessing and so on. You guys get the point. But that is the use case for the Olympus token. And yes, there are other use cases as well, like a reserve asset. But still, you guys get the point. It's still a governance token. Now, Tokamak. Tokamak is basically a governance vote that allows you to direct liquidity. So say Tokamak has, let's say $500 million in assets inside their treasury. Well, the holders of the token can say, hey, look, we got a lot of ETH in here. I really like this protocol. It's a really cool protocol. I think we should send like $1 million in ETH to them just to help them out. And you can vote and do that by holding the token. So just another thing you guys can understand, it directs liquidity. The next one is Yearn Finance. So people look at Yearn Finance and are like, it's just a useless governance token. Or others are like, oh, I want to get involved with Andre Cronje, so I better get one of his tokens. Some people are thinking about it wrong. What is Yearn Finance known for? It's known for farming and dumping. Like literally just farm, dump, farm, dump, farm, dump. So if I have a project or a protocol and I'm like, bro, my token is literally just going down, what am I going to do? Well, I would vote and say, hey, we should get rid of this protocol or this token pair because it's just literally just useless. Like no one wants to use this. Or I can vote in the protocol pair and say, ooh, these APRs are way too high. Everyone loves this pair. Let's just go ahead and lower the rewards. I mean, they don't need that many rewards. It's already got sufficient liquidity. So it will basically allow people to be like, well, bro, I'm not getting the same APR I used to be getting. I'm pulling out. So then there goes the farm dump machine. It's pulled out. You guys get the point. Bitcoin. This is another one. Now people look at it like an asset and they're like, how is this governance? This is how Bitcoin could possibly be governance. So this is more so towards the miners. Say you hold a very large portion of the mining network, you can actually vote to where the protocol goes. Now, this isn't just saying like the Bitcoin holders in general, but this is just saying like in general with the miners. Miners decide to fork the chain that has the most blocks or the blocks that keep producing, people are going to go with that chain. So they can use that to vote with where they put their blocks. So say you make the fork and you hold a large amount of the network, or let's just say a small amount of the network, and you decide to fork. I'm just going to fork this, see what happens. Look at Bitcoin Cash. It did the same exact thing. Most people still stayed on Bitcoin. However, with Bitcoin Cash, there were a set of miners that still went with that. There were people with those tokens. They held those tokens and said, no, this is the chain. Bitcoin said, no, this is the chain. And you guys see how that rolled out. But that's the point. It's also, you can kind of consider a governance token. Not more so like Curve, Ohm, Token, Yearn, but it's just an example, just so you guys can understand. Now, lastly, I want to cover this topic. Okay, if it's a governance token, then I guess it has value now, right? No, that is not the case. First, Ponzi farms or different protocols that launch up just so you can farm and get the governance token. Now, those 99.9999999% of those are basically going to be worth a big fat zero because, well, they aren't, like, why would I want to govern over something like that? Like, dude, I mean, I could be a governance over an earbud. I don't want to govern over that. How about governance over like your community or like where you live? Having governance over your HOA. Now, that's a little bit bigger. I can be like, bro, everyone's got to cut their grass or I'm going to fine them $100 a month or $100 a day. Now, dude, that's huge because I can just say this, this, and this, and then I can basically get random income because not everyone wants to cooperate with that. But that's just different things you can do. It's basically just like flex power being able to do something. But who wants flex power over a Ponzi farm that no one wants to use? No one. I mean, no, it's junk. So that is one of the risks. Second is a protocol with no vision. Don't just go into a protocol, farm and get the token and you're like, dude, this cracker token, it's going to the moon. I know it is. They're paying out 1,000,000% APR. I know it's going to the moon. They're giving such great rewards. I'm holding them to the moon. And then like 3 days later, the moon, you end up finding that it's in the center of the earth and you're like, man, I lost all my money. This is horrible. So the point is like, if there is no vision, just, no thanks. Look for communities. Invest in people, not Ponzi's. There's lots of Ponzi's out there. There's not a lot of strong and good people out there. Trust me. I've tried to look and I haven't found many. Third, whales. Whales owning all or have a lot of the governance token, they could have some greed. Take the uni governance token, for example. Do you guys remember, I think it was like 3 or 4 months ago, there was some random vote that some whales voted and basically said, yeah, let's give like, it was like $100 million, like $50 million, just some like random protocol, just for just talking about DeFi. Like, I mean, this was just like across a whim and no one really even knew about the project itself or the team itself, and they basically just sent money to them. I mean, was this an inside job? Like, did they just send that to themselves? Like, were these holders owners of a bunch of uni governance tokens, and they were actually the owner of the quote unquote, let's spread the word about DeFi? Possibly. I don't know. Time will tell. But I mean, those are just some things you got to think about. So again, the risks. First, you don't want to be a governance holder of a piece of trash Ponzi farm. Second, you don't want to be a governance holder of a protocol with no vision. Third, whales owning all of the tokens is a major risk because they're going to hold a major vote of it. I mean, that's why a lot of people in the United States don't vote, because they feel it's one vote and it doesn't matter. That's the point. If you feel you don't matter in the protocol, then that's an issue and you won't vote. So just some things to think about, the value of governance tokens. I mainly want you guys to focus on this, on the use cases for the governance tokens, as long as you found a good one. Now, strong ones are ones that you can see people using them. Like Curve, everyone uses Curve. I'm not saying to go buy the Curve governance token. You're going to be dealing with the bribe boards bidding it up. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But I just want to keep some things on your guys' radar so you guys can understand and look at the governance token in a different way, because we found more use cases for the governance token. One of the major use cases is bribes. So we were kind of looking at it at the wrong way. Let's go ahead and leave you guys with a wisdom one-liner. By the way, guys, if you guys want to join in Discord, there's a Patreon link in the description below. There's some exclusive content I don't talk about on YouTube. And we have some AMAs from time to time so we can chat back and forth as a community. Some of the topics in there are a little more advanced DeFi topics, some farms that are printing, and different protocols that I'm looking at and strategies I'm implementing, as well as strategies other people are implementing. Proverbs chapter 14 verses 35. A king delights in a wise servant, but a shameful servant arouses his fury. That's so true, man. Be wise, be truthful, and be good. And today we are going to show you guys how to use the Aave platform and make some serious gains on it, guys. This is going to be straight from scratch. In this video, I'm going to show you how I was able to farm 1,000 Matic tokens for free. Alright guys, so I'll show you how to do this. Obviously you can't make as much as you used to now because the Matic token price has increased like crazy. But I'm going to show you guys how to do this, and this is going to be straight from scratch. I've done a couple videos on this before, but it was kind of just like going back and forth, and it already had tokens in it. I'm starting from scratch, so nothing's in here. I just need to connect my wallet. I'm going to go ahead and connect my wallet. And now my wallet's connected. So if you guys look, my dashboard, I have nothing. So I can either go to the markets or I can go to my dashboard and I'll say, all right, I'm going to deposit now. I'm starting with USDC. My current balance is 1,000 USDC. So I'm going to say, yeah, bro, I'll go ahead and deposit 1,000 USDC. So I'll hit max, I'll deposit 1,000 USDC and hit approve. So I got to approve this transaction on my ledger or on my metamask. I'll hit confirm and the transaction goes through. So now I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to deposit, and I'm going to deposit 1,000 USDC. So this is starting to get the initial deposit in there. So now I have $1,000 in USDC deposit on my dashboard. By the way, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. That way you guys are notified every time we make a new one. And guys, if you like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and comment below saying you subscribed, you will automatically get thrown in for a drawing to earn $100 in free BTC. Guys, don't miss out. So now that we deposited the USDC, we now are able to get a loan against it. Keep in mind, guys, there are other tokens like USDT, Wrapped ETH, Wrapped Bitcoin. USDT, you cannot get a loan against it. It cannot be used as collateral. So let me show you guys when you are borrowing it. So I'll also show you how, well, it actually doesn't state collateral on USDT until you click on it. But you see when you click on USDT, it says no, it cannot be used as collateral. So keep that in mind, guys. So now that I have the $1,000, I am automatically earning 1.71% APY and 2.29% paid in Matic. So technically, I'm getting paid 4% for my deposit. Now, why is this important? Well, I can now borrow against it. So now I have $1,000 invested. That's fine. Great. I'll go ahead and auto compound those yields. I'm going to borrow more USDC. I'll max it out. I'll do 800 bucks. So I'll hit continue. Be careful, guys, because you can get liquidated and you can lose your tokens. But the reason why I'm doing 800 is I'm going to show you guys this now. I'm going to compound my yield. So now instead of just $1,000, I have $1,800 now. I can either go deposit this into another protocol, or I can deposit this into here. I can go to SushiSwap, I can go to QuickSwap, and I can go buy some tokens here. I mean, there's so many different things that I can do. If I'm very bullish on ETH, I can get a loan against this and go buy some Ethereum. But do keep in mind, guys, you want to keep this position healthy. Once this hits 1, it's game over. You lose. So now I'm going to deposit the USDC I just earned. So this is going to increase my health factor back to 1.91%. So I'm auto compounding this, and now I have, just wait. All right, so now I have 1,800 in collateral, and I have 1800 or 800 as a borrow. So now I'm just going to say, all right, I'll borrow again. Look guys, I can borrow another $600. At this rate, basically what I'm going to be able to do is turn $1,000 into $5,000. Why is that important? Well, because I'm leveraging my yields. So normally on $1,000 I'm getting paid 4%. Now I'm getting paid 4% on $5,000. But wait, there's more. You see this 3% right here and this 2%? I have to pay them 2.91% to borrow this, but they're paying me to get a loan. They're paying me 3.52% APR. Guys, so this is how you can explain it and understand it. They do have other protocols that automatically do this for you. One's called Alpha Finance. I did a video on that as well, but this is more so like a beginner's guide, and it doesn't have crazy Ethereum gas fees. Now we're only doing Matic. Just so I can show you guys what this looks like so you aren't just like, oh, well, this is a scam. Well, let me show you. I'll get a loan against it again. Now my health factor is 1.06, and I'll go back to my dashboard, and I'll deposit these tokens in here. Man, guys, you guys are making me waste so much on gas fees. I'm just kidding, guys. It's fractions of a penny. It's crazy. All right, so now look. Now my collateral is, just wait. All right, wow, that was only 3 seconds. All right, so my health factor is 1.44, and now my current balance is $2,400. I literally just had $1,000. Now I have $2,400 I'm earning interest on, guys. That's crazy. I'm just earning free interest on this. And wait, look, you see over here this claim button? I'm earning Matic tokens to do this too. This is awesome. Matic is the same thing as Matic. So basically, at this rate, I'm earning the gas fees that I'm paying in this, and I'm earning additional. So like all these transactions I'm making, I'm still, depending on how much you're depositing, so keep that in mind. You don't want to just click up here and claim every single second, because you're going to pay some pretty, over time it won't make sense. Like if you're doing like 400 transactions every minute, well, it's not going to make sense depending on how much money you have deposited. But you guys can see how this is climbing. It's climbing like 0.0001 Matic every, or 0.0001 Matic every like 5 seconds. So that's a good rate. It's a good clip. It'll accrue probably at this rate for 10,000 or for $1,000, you'll probably get 0.75 Matic a day, or maybe 1 Matic a day. And on top of that, you're earning interest on your USDC. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, guys, but it's, in my opinion, the least risky one to go with than what's out there. There are other markets that you can deposit, so you can also earn more on DAI, you can earn more on wrapped Ethereum, you can earn more on wrapped BTC, or you can even earn 19% on aave. And guys, when you're gaining these tokens or getting these tokens, and say you just don't like Matic and you just want to take stablecoins, that's fine. Go ahead. You can get your Matic tokens, and you can come over here and say, yeah, I'm going to swap my Matic for USDC or DAI. You can do that. You can just get a stablecoin, and you can come back over here and deposit it in here. Guys, the limits are endless. So that's really how you can use Aave protocol from scratch. I hope this helped cleared up a couple things, guys. I tried to make it as simple as possible, but if it's still confusing for you guys, I can make another video on it, or if you guys have any comments, leave it in the description below. But I'm going to go ahead and go over a couple of factors you want to keep in mind. So this number is the amount of APY you're getting paid in USDC. This number down here is paid in Matic. So even if you hover over it, it'll tell you. But do keep in mind, guys, this is only going to last for a 1-year period. They have a liquidity mining program going on. Over here is what you're going to be paying. So basically, you're paying 2.91% for that loan. So technically, I'm not making any USDC on this. I'm technically just earning about 5% interest paid in Matic token. Here are the markets you can look at. You have the wrapped Matic, DAI, USDC, USDT, ETH, wrapped Bitcoin, aave. So these are the different tokens that you can currently use. If you want to go on Ethereum, you can go on Ethereum or any of the other AMM markets. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope I was able to bring some value to you guys, and I hope this cleared up some DeFi protocols you guys can use. I tried to make it as easy as possible. If I didn't and you guys still don't understand it, that's okay. It took me a while to understand these concepts as well. Guys, it just takes time. You just have to play around with it. You just have to use it. If you ever want to pay back the loan, this is exactly how you do it. So I'll withdraw the maximum amount. That's going to put me at 1, so I can't actually do the max. So let's do 700, and then I'll go ahead and withdraw this. So once I pay the gas fee, pay the transaction, I'll come back, I'll withdraw it, and I'll go to my dashboard, and I'll hit repay. And I'll say I'll repay this. You have to do the same exact process. You got to go back and forth because it's going to be the same exact thing. Because if you don't do that, well, you're going to get liquidated if you don't keep it slow. So you got to do it piece at a time. See 1.02, that's okay. So we'll confirm. Go back to my dashboard, and this should be able to repay the total amount. So we'll go ahead and repay all this. Current health factor, and basically our loan is now paid off. So now I can go straight to my dashboard and I can withdraw all of my tokens from here. So I'll withdraw all my USDC, confirm, and I'll go ahead and claim my Matic tokens too while I'm at it. I think I'm gonna pay more than this gas fee to claim this. I'll just leave it alone. So if you guys want my reward, it's up there. Yeah, actually I'll save it for later. Worst case scenario if something happens. Alright, so now I'm going to go to my metamask. Basically I only spent 0.003 Matic on this, and I earned 0.000064 USDC. So guys, that's really how you use the protocol in a nutshell. That's from start to finish. Really easy to use. Guys, it's not super complicated. Take patience. Watch this video a couple times. Watch over it. Guys, this is a very important step into DeFi. You need to understand, because in the crypto space, if you aren't being your own banker, well, you're going to get banked. Banked in a bad way. Someone's going to bank you. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to do those 4 things. Like, subscribe, bell button. Leave a comment in the description below saying you subscribe. You'll automatically be thrown into a drawing to earn $100 in BTC. Proverbs chapter 26 verses 23. Like a coating of silver dross on earthenware are fervent lips with an evil heart. Guys, be solid, good and out. Don't just have lip service or be a good person outside and horrible on the inside. Make sure you look to be good on the inside and out.
In this video, we're going to show you guys how to liquidity provide. This is mainly for Mad Money Mark. He is one of our Patreon members. Hey man, I appreciate the support, but I want to make this designated video for you. If you guys already know how to provide liquidity, you can just skip this video and disregard, because it's going to be a video explaining liquidity and how to provide it. So first off, we're going to use something like Uniswap. Mark, I was mentioning to you, I'm just going to basically dedicate this video to you, so I'm just going to be talking to you directly. So if you guys aren't Mark, well, just think of yourself like Mark. So today you're going to be called Mark. So how you provide liquidity is you need to have 2 separate tokens. Well, how do you know which pools to select? Well, keep in mind, guys, you're going to have impermanent loss. This is why they pay these rewards. So just because you see a crazy reward doesn't mean you should ape in. Why is that? Well, because if you're pairing Celo with Movi, Movi is a farming coin and Celo is not a farming coin. It is basically the native coin of the Celo network. So typically what happens is, well, farming coins get pumped to nuts and ham, as in like bad nuts and ham, more like rotten nuts and spoiled ham. It's not good. They get pumped to bad. They go to 0 and not 0. Well, yeah, actually 0. But the point is when you provide liquidity, what you're going to be doing, and the reason why you're rewarded for it, is you sell your good token, aka the coin that stays the same or goes up, and buy the dip on the coin that is going down. The reason they call it impermanent loss is because you don't realize that loss until you withdraw out of the pool. Once you withdraw out of the pool, that's when you realize the loss, and that's when it becomes, well, permanent loss. So if you look at the Celo Myobi pool, it's paying some really good rewards. But how the pants do we provide liquidity now that you guys kind of understand the risks? Well, this is how you provide liquidity. We're going to go over to the pool section. So if you hit pool, we're going to select, I'm going to do Mu and Celo because I know those are some of the pairs. First, I need to get some Celo tokens.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the swapper on Uniswap, and I'm going to swap some of my, well, Ube for some MCello. So here's the Moolah Cello. I'm swapping this. I'm going to get some MCello right now, and I'm going to hit confirm. The reason why I'm doing it on the Cello blockchain is because gas fees are super cheap and the transactions go through immediately, almost immediately. So this one already went through, and now I'm going to go pool the tokens. So now I literally just hit create a pair, and I'm going to do the Moo token as well as the MCello token. So I'm going to hit max. Okay, so I need a little more MCello. So let me go ahead and grab some more MCello. So I'm going to go back to the swapper, and I'm going to swap some Cello for some MCello. So let's just call it 0.25 or whatever. I don't care. They're the same thing. It's MCello is just Moolah Money Cello, and Cello is just Cello. So they're basically the same thing. Gas fees are super cheap on here, so I could care less. They're fractions of dirt, and they're dirt cheap. And the transactions go through super quick, so I like using it. So now we're going to go back to Uniswap. Now, the reason why I hit max on Moo is because I'm trying to deposit all my Moo tokens. If you're trying to deposit all your MCello, this one's not going to go through because, well, insufficient Moo balance. So I only have a certain amount of Moo, so I'm just going to do all the Moo tokens. So I supply, and the best thing, this is a quick tip, especially with a blockchain that has instant transactions and, well, it's low gas fees, is just make the liquidity super low. Because if the transaction fails through, no harm, no foul, you just make the transaction again. If it's on Ethereum, now that's a little more risky. But the reason why you want to make the slippage really low is because if you don't know what slippage means, it basically means you're getting ripped off if the transaction goes through. But in reality, what slippage means, instead of just kind of being brash about it, is when you say 0.5% or 1% slippage, that means the transaction will go through if the token price you see on this amount, or the amount of token paired with this one, is less than 1%, the transaction will go through. So basically you're paying a 1% transaction fee. Not fun in my book, so I say no thanks. So I just added liquidity, like literally that easy. So it was super easy to add liquidity. Keep in mind, I'm not earning any rewards except for swap fees on this. I need to go farm with the coin. So I need to find the Moo MCello pool. The reason why I like the Moo MCello is because they're paying out pretty well on the rewards. It is a triple reward pool. So I just go here and I say manage, and I deposit my Ube tokens. So I hit deposit, I hit max, and I hit deposit. Boom, that's it. That's all you do, Mark. And if you're watching this, you're also called Mark now. So I just deposited the tokens. That's it. That's how you provide liquidity. Make sure you understand the risks. That's why you have rewards, and why you're getting paid to provide liquidity. Because, well, you're basically holding the bag for, well, the people who are going to dump on you. That's how it rolls. Today in this video, guys, we're going to show you guys how to provide liquidity on Uniswap v3. This is going to be a super quick video. I will go ahead and get into it, explain to you guys a couple features, a couple risks, and what you guys should know about providing liquidity on Uniswap. All right, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, first thing is like, subscribe, bell button, leave a comment in that description below saying you subscribed. When you do those three things, you get thrown into a drawing to earn $100 in free BTC. So let's go and go on to the Uniswap page. So I want to provide liquidity for ETH SLP. The reason why I'm picking Smooth Love Potion, it's just a, it's a NFT token, not an NFT token, but it's a gaming token. I'm super bullish on games, but you can also do it for like Axie Infinity, Ethereum, whatever you want to do. But the biggest thing you want to look for is the top performers. And the reason why is the only fees you're going to be getting on Uniswap are going to be the fees that are paid out on the transactions. So like the 3% fee, or the 0.3% fee, the 1% fee, whatever trading that is going to be done. In order to view that, what you need to do is go to the overview on Uniswap. When you go to the overview on Uniswap, they give you the top tokens, and it gives you the volume, the price, the TVL, etc., and you can search the different pools. If you ever want to find like the top pools, you can go under the pools section and look for the ones with the highest volume. So right now, the one with the most volume is going to be your USDC and ETH. The reason why we choose that one, or would choose that one, is because it has the most volume. When it has the most volume, it has the capability of getting the most transaction fees. However, that is not the only solution, or not the only factor you have to take into the math problem. You see, this is 0.05%, and the TVL is 125 million. Now, if you look at AXI or XVS, it's 0.3%, and the TVL is 4.35 million, and the 24-hour volume is 37 million. So if you look at these ratios, you'll be getting way more fees on AXS and ETH versus USDC and ETH. So that's just an example of like a quick solution and a quick problem you guys can look at, just so you guys can understand it. And here's a really neat calculator you guys can use on when you're investing and what you're looking to transact. I'll explain this calculator later in the video. Let's go ahead and show you guys how to provide liquidity real quick. So me personally, I'm going to do the ETH SLP. And this is very important you guys understand this step. Click this button to add liquidity up here, but this is a very important step to understand, is because if you go outside of this price range, you are going to get no fees. This chart mainly shows where most of the liquidity is at. However, you can make more the tighter the slip, or the tighter the spots are. However, you have to understand you have impermanent loss. So if this token eventually goes to 56 or 500 or 5,654 SLP per ETH, then you're basically going to be buying the dip and selling all of your Ethereum for SLP. And then once it gets outside of it, you are going to be getting no fees. So you do have to be very careful with something like this. If you don't understand, you can always do 100% on both sides. But still, then again, the sky is the limit on prices, because 0 is the lowest something can go, and infinity is the highest something can go. I'm not saying this can go to infinity, but you guys understand the point when you guys are providing liquidity. However, if you go outside of a range that's just like not even reasonable, then you have to factor in, well, like if I do that, I'm going to be getting no fees outside of that. So the main thing you want to take from this is try to pick a range in between this area. And if you're selecting volatile pairs like I am, SLP and ETH or wrapped ETH, I'm not throwing a lot into there, but I want to put it into there because I want to provide liquidity. So if you ever want to check like all the other token pairs and how the ratios are doing, all you got to do is type in the token that you're looking for, and you scroll down and see the token list that they have. So right now, here are all the different token pairs. So you have ETH SLP, you have ETH SLP for a 1% fee. You also have a 0.3% fee for AXI, etc. And you guys can see most of the people are paying with the 0.3% fee, and that has a huge amount of volume. So sure, you can charge a 1% fee, but you need to factor in, is it going to be worth it? Sure, you have a lower amount in TVL in here right now, but you have a really low volume. So 11.95K versus 16 million. Yeah, you'd be better off with going something like this if you just do the math on it, because the TVL of this is about, well, 6 times larger. So that's something to understand as well. So that's just doing the math on it. So we're going to go ahead and do the ETH SLP pair. And I'm going to do the 0.3% fee because I did the math on it, and it just seems like, okay, that's the better one to do. And I know this one is a very volatile pool. I'm probably going to stay on the safe side using this, and I'm actually going to use this Uniswap tool, so I can see how much I'm going to be making. Just so you guys can see how this works. As you guys can see, if I invest, let's say $4,000, I'm going to get at the rates, the volume that it's giving right now, the annual percentage is going to be 1,298%, and the 24-hour fee is going to be $142. That's pretty lucrative. That's a really good return on investment. However, that is a really tight range. If I go in that tight of a range, yes, I will be getting more fees, but you got to factor in, if it goes out of that range, I'm going to be getting no fees, and then I'll be left with a huge bag. However, if I go full on, like selecting the liquidity bounds, just like 100%, let me get everything, then it's going to be a lot lower, and the percentage is going to be a lot lower, but I will be able to partake in a lot more of the fees. So it's a factor of concentrated liquidity. You just got to understand what you're looking at. Yes, it's a more complicated problem and a more complicated solution that you got to figure out. And then you can always say, oh yeah, I assume the price is going to go here. And as you guys can see, the closer it gets to it, the more fees I will be earning. And you can play around with the numbers, see what they're doing. It's a cool toggle chart. The reason why the fees change is because it's going to be the amount paid in the token. So like if this goes up, obviously I'm going to be earning more because it's going to be paying more in the like token. But just so you guys can understand that. Because also another thing to remember, if I'm providing SLP and Ether and SLP just goes to the moon, I'm just going to be left with a huge bag of ETH. And I'm okay with that because I like Ethereum. However, if it goes to roast, well, I'm just going to be left with a huge bag of SLP. And I'm bullish on SLP, even though it's an infinite supply token. I'm pretty bullish on the gaming industry, and I know it's going to be a good factor into it. But again, guys, if you don't know what the token is about, don't provide liquidity what you don't understand. I'm selecting these pools because I see a higher amount of volume, and you guys can see the breakdown on how the income is estimated, so you guys can see this. Obviously, if the swap fees and the volume is not the same, it is going to change from time to time, so you got to understand this. This is a revolving door. If you guys are not new to DeFi, this is going to be more complicated to understand. So be careful with what you're choosing. So me personally, I'm going to probably go to about here and here. So let's see. I want to see what 2258 and 120 and 42 is going to be in fee. Well, unfortunately, this website won't let you go in that much of a range, but obviously it would be a lot lower. As you guys can see, if I go to the full range between 4282 and 9525, which is this full range right here, I will be able to see like, hey, look, I'm going to be making about $55 a day. And as you guys can see, if you get like a really, really tight range, that's where it just like ups the ante up, like $247 a day. That's nuts and ham, dude. Nuts and ham. But anyways, let's go ahead and provide liquidity. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and select this range just about here. So I'm pretty bullish on this. So let's see what happens. And I'm going to use the maximum amount of SLP. And I'm selecting a really wide range. Let's just call it 2100. And then we'll call it 13500, just to call it even numbers. The reason why I'm selecting a wide range is because this is a very volatile cryptocurrency. I don't know where it's going to go. It could go higher, it could go lower. I mean, it's one of those things like if you understand how Smooth Love Potion works, it's one of those things where you dump it. That's the whole goal of the token. However, you don't dump it, but it's a token you earn. However, if you need to like upgrade your Axie, you need the SLP tokens. So that's why I'm bullish on it, because I see a future for it. It's an interesting concept, but I'm not here to talk about the token. Let me just show you guys how to provide liquidity. So we're going to select this range. Actually, I might just do 3,100. I might be kicking myself in the buns if I'm doing this. So let's go ahead and preview it, and I'm going to add ETH and SLP. I need to make sure I add the maximum amount. Okay, so I'm adding the maximum amount, and we'll hit add. I need to see what the going gas rate is, so use handy dandy TX Street. All right, so TX Street is telling us about 1312, 1010. That'll be nice to get around to 10, but we're probably going to go with, 12. We might be able to hit a 10er. Man, they're mining Bitcoins. This site is so slow. I'm going to try a 10.2, and then I'm probably going to get roasted for doing it. Oh, that's 1.2. That'll be horrible. But I can always speed it up. Let's see what 11.2 is. Nah, forget it. We aren't going to be cheap. We're just going to do 12.1, get this transaction done. The transaction sent off in the mempool, and let's wait to get our NFT. Transaction submitted, and we'll wait for our tokens to show up, and we can veg out on TX Street. By the way, guys, while we're waiting and watching TX Street mine some Bitcoins with my computer, what'd you guys have for lunch? What's your favorite restaurant? Dude, like, my favorite restaurant's Texas de Brazil. If you guys ever eaten there, oh, dude, churrascos are fire sauce. So if you guys are new to the channel and you guys want me to talk about any DeFi protocols or anything, you can leave a comment below saying, hey, check this project out. Leave some alpha on it. Don't just shill the project and say, oh, yeah, this is the greatest project in the world. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about it? Give us some things like, hey, no, this is like the first protocol to do this. They have like crazy APYs. They're sustainable because this, and this type of thing. And you can also catch us in the Telegram chat. I got a link in the description. It'll say the Digi Squad, and it says Telegram in parentheses. That's where you can go to chat with us. If you guys have any concepts, ideas, etc., we're open all years. I love to listen to new DeFi junk. Also, another thing to note with Uniswap is a little bit different than something like SushiSwap or these farming degen tokens. You don't just get random tokens. You're only getting the swap fees. So like there's no depositing into a pool, whatever. Once you make the LP token, you have that NFT and that's it. You aren't depositing it anywhere. You aren't not providing liquidity, but depositing into a pool to earn rewards. It automatically just goes through. Another thing you guys need to factor in is the slippage tolerance. Make sure you guys make this auto or higher. I would say probably do like a 3 or 4% slippage just in case, just to get the transaction to go through. So just like a quick side tip. All right, so after a couple of two failed transactions later, it finally went through, guys. That's why you got to be careful with some of these higher volatility tokens. But now you guys can see I'm in range, status, fees. So as you guys can see, I'm about to collect an ETH, and it will pay out in ETH and SLP, because if someone's buying SLP, you're going to get a portion of their ETH because that's part of the fee. And then, of course, it's the other way around when people sell their SLP to get ETH, which is aka buying Ethereum with SLP, then I'll start getting some SLP tokens. So as you guys can see, these are the tokens that I have. If I ever want to change it, I can always increase my liquidity by adding more tokens, etc. But this is the NFT that I have, and this is the range that I have. So you can't really adjust the range because this is a NFT. So if you ever just want to add more to it, you can always add more to it. And as you guys can see, like I was explaining to you, and as you guys can see, it's slowly accruing fees. And I think it may have been worth just wasting some gas. Well, it wasn't worth wasting gas. But as you guys can see, that's how you collect the fees. And whenever you want to collect them, you hit collect and you pay the transaction fee to get it. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And you guys have to factor in gas price. This is on Ethereum, so that's something very important to keep in mind. And this is the liquidity that I have. So these are the positions that you want to watch. You probably want to come in and monitor this as long as you are in range. Because if you go to remove liquidity and I say max, if you guys remember the SLP tokens, I put in about 57.50. Now I'm going to withdraw about 56.97. And the ETH I put in was about 0.759. And now I'm going to have more ETH. That's how LP positions work, so you guys can understand it. And if you don't want to withdraw the whole bag, you can do like, oh man, this impermanent loss is getting bad. I want to get 50% so I can at least hold the token and have some token exposure. Well, you can do that as well. Because once this range, if it goes out to a certain range, like AKA goes like way out of the range, which is the minimum price less than 0.0001 SLP per ETH, then I'm going to sell all my Ethereum and just have a huge bag of SLP. And then it's on the opposite side as well. And you can put it in ETH prices if you guys need to see it, if it's too small. So I hope that cleared up Uniswap V3 and adding liquidity, playing around with it, and testing with these DeFi protocols. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys do 3 things for me. Like, subscribe, bell button. Leave a comment in that description below saying you subscribed. You will automatically get thrown into that drawing. Turn $100 and free BTC. And guys, if you learned anything in this video, just leave a comment below saying, yeah, bro, I never heard about that. That's cool. Or, yeah, bro, that's interesting. I really like that. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and leave you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 20, verses 13. Do not love sleep or you will grow poor. Stay awake and you will have food to spare. Amen. We're going to talk about how to short in DeFi. Dude, everyone's like, dude, I want to short this market. I want to short this. I want to short that. Well, hey, be careful. Sometimes short and shorts are not always fun because, dude, I've shorted my shorts before and like I've had to sew them up like 10,000 times. You've seen my shorts. They're bad. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and talk about how to short in DeFi. This is a quick little strategy on how you can do it. And man, Puffy the Mike, you looking big today. A little puffy. Jeez. All right. So anyways, guys, we're going to show you guys how to short on different assets that you want to short in DeFi. So, or like in a decentralized way. So instead of like on Binance or whatever, like using their shorting tokens, you can actually go directly through DeFi to do this. Yes, there are protocols that are specific to that, but here is a option with a quote unquote borrow and lending strategy. This is just one that you can use. So I'm just going to go over it real quick so you guys can see it. I'm going to go ahead and connect to Matic so you guys can see this. So while we're switching over, guys, make sure you guys do 3 things for me. Like, subscribe, bell button, leave a comment in that description below saying you subscribed, and you will automatically get thrown into that drawing to earn $100 in free BTC, because why not? You guys like free Bitcoin? I do. Do I like to give it away? Yeah, I do. All right, guys. Make sure you guys do those 3 things and leave a comment in the description below telling me how you like to eat your Reese's. I mean, dude, me personally, I like them frozen, like in the freezer. If you guys haven't tried it, get your A game up or get your P game up because it's peanut butter. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and show you guys how to short. So if you're like, dude, I'm super short on, or not short, and I'm not short, I'm 6'5". But if you're like, dude, I want to short Bitcoin, this is how you do it. All you got to do is borrow, and you'll pay to borrow it, obviously. And you borrow the asset, and you go sell it for stables. So you borrow the asset, then you go to quick swap. This is just like a quick demo on how you guys can do this. I just wanted to make you guys a quick video so you guys can see these options. This is how you can get creative with this junk and thunk this stuff. So you're going to short the asset. This is how you do it. You deposit stable coins on this side. Quote unquote, stable coins don't move, right? Well, theoretically they don't. But you will deposit the stable coins and you can borrow. So you're going to earn interest on the stable coin side. Yes, you will have to pay for this. But if you factor it out, look, 2.6, 88, and 1.34, it looks like it's going to be just like break even. So you're just basically going to be getting a free short. And even on centralized exchanges, you do have to pay to short because you have to borrow those tokens when you short it. If you don't understand how shorting works, basically when you short an asset is you sell it at the price that you're shorting it at. So say, for example, you short Bitcoin at 30 G's, you're selling it at 30 G's in hopes to buy it back lower, because if you buy it back lower, well, you made a profit because you sold it at 30, bought it at 20. So here's how shorting works. So shorting is when you are not bullish on the market, but you're thinking like, man, this is way too frothy. So this is a good example. You have a pen. Pens are worth $10 right now. Johnny's got 1 pen. So you're like, hey, Johnny, let me borrow your pen and I'll return it back to you. So you borrow his pen, you sell it for $10 because you know there's a huge influx of pens coming in pretty soon. So you pocketed that $10 because you're like, all right, I got $10 now. That pen sold, but I owe Johnny his pen back. So that max supply huge supply of pens come in, and now pens are worth $1. So you go buy 10 pens, you give Johnny back his 1 pen. Now you have 9 pens. Now you're like, yay, I got 9 pens. You just shorted the market, or you just shorted the pen market. Good job, Johnny. Here's how you'd short it. So you deposit stables on this side. So you're depositing the stable coins and you borrow against it. This is on Polygon, so gas fees are low, so you can play around with it. So say Polygon or a Matic token is at $1 and I'm like, dude, this asset is going lower. I know it is. So I'll borrow tokens against it. And I'll say, okay, look, let me borrow 500 tokens. It's going to cost me $500 because they're $1 a token. I automatically, the same day, same transaction, not same transaction, but same price, etc. I'll come and dump my Matic tokens, 500, get 500 USDC, deposit over here to keep the short afloat, as in earning interest on it. So that way it can pay off the loan that I have to pay each day for keeping this loan out. But now I have $500 extra dollars. Yes, I still owe 500 Matic over here, but I think it's going down. So when it goes to 50 cents, I will then come back, pay $250 to get 500 Matic. So then I will pay back the 500 Matic, or the 500 Matic tokens that I owe. And once I pay that back, my loan is paid off. And now I just profited $250. That's how you shorted the market. So I'll explain it again. I got the stable coins on this side. I got a loan in Matic. So the Matic tokens that I got a loan for, they were worth $1 at the time. I got 500 of them. So it cost me a total of $500. So I then sold the Matic tokens, $1 a piece, 500 of them. I get $500. I shorted the market because I sold my Matic tokens and I got a loan against it. So when I get the loan against it, I still owe the bank, but it's in Matic tokens. I sold the Matic for USDC. USDC doesn't move as much. It's quote unquote a stable coin. Yes, there is smart contract risk. So that is a factor that you have to take into account. So don't throw in all the bags and lever up. They can lose their peg. But that's how I shorted it, because now Matic goes to 50 cents. So I buy back my Matic that I owe at a half price. I return it and I profited the other half. So 250 went to pay back the loan that I owed, and 250 just went in my pocket, and it said, man, we can go buy a good lunch now. But anyways, guys, that's how you can short the market in DeFi. If you guys enjoyed this video, 3 things for me: like, subscribe, bell button, leave a comment in the description below saying you subscribed, and make sure you tell me, guys, how you like your Reese's. Do you like them warm? Actually, you know what? I beg to differ. You can warm them up, make them melty, put them on some vanilla ice cream. That'll be pretty fire sauce. No, that'll be some ice sauce. But anyways, guys, that's how you can shorten the market. That's a quick shorting strategy in DeFi. And guys, wisdom one-liner. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, bell button, and leave a comment below. Proverbs chapter 21, verses 29. The wicked put up a bold front, but the upright give thought to their ways. What does this mean, guys? Well, you need to thunk before you do. Because if you do before you thunk, then you could have done the wrong thing. So make sure you use this brain and thunk. See you in the next one. Well, we're going to talk about Ledger, guys. You guys are making all them gains in these farming videos. You got to protect your junk. All right, so let's go and get into this video. Why I recommend a Ledger. There's also other ones you can use as well, like a Trezor and whatever. But anyways, we're going to say thanks to our sponsors today. So our first sponsor, well, our only sponsor, is my shoes. My shoes, I need some new ones, but nah, they do the job, so I'm going to keep them. My dog ate them, but they work good. They work really good. I need some more duct tape. I ran out. The duct tape came off, but anyways, guys, yeah, they get the job done. Sorry, Chris, didn't mean to hit you. Dude, this is Chris, my bunny. See? His name's Chris. All right, so anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get into the video, why we recommend the Ledger hardware wallet, or why I do. It's because I use it. That's why I like it. But I mean, there is Trezor, and there's, what's the other one? I can't even think of the other one. I want to call it Portis, but I know it's not Portis. But they got a bunch of different ones. For price and the usage and the security, me personally, I like Ledger. This is just a little Ledger Nano S, nothing crazy. And they actually have some good discounts that go from time to time. There's actually a link in the description below. I think it gets you like $20 off or $10 off. I don't know. Something like that. They just have different programs going on, I guess you can say. But anyways, in this video, we're going to talk about Ledger, how to use it, how to work it, and we're going to show you the Ledger Live platform. So I'm going to like slide my face to the side, or actually I'm just going to say peace out. All right, so guys, let's show you guys Ledger Live. Now, why do I like Ledger Live? Well, first off, guys, it's a hardware wallet. Second is they have a lot of cool features. You can actually lend your tokens through the actual platform itself. This used to not be here, and you can earn interest on it. So while your USDC, Tether, DAI, whatever is just sitting in here, you can literally hit lend, and you can select the amount that you want to use. So you can be like, bruh, I want to limit it all, and obviously you're going to have to pay network fees and whatnot, but you can do it directly through your Ledger. So you don't have to interact with anything, and it's got a really neat UX and UI. It's interacting with junk on the back end, but on the front end, it's really easy to use. So it's kind of like, oh, snap, let me fold this paper in half, and whoa, I didn't realize I folded the paper into an envelope. I don't know if that example made any sense at all, but it didn't make any sense to me. It just means it's a good UX and a good UI. If you guys want to basically upload the manager, I got to upload my Ledger, but I can't do it. My microphone will do it. So basically with the manager, it allows you to upload different apps, and I'm going to show you the different apps. So like right now I have some Kava, I have Digibyte, I have Ethereum, and Bitcoin. So what's cool about these is these are different wallets, like in general. Like this is a Cosmos wallet, this is a Bitcoin wallet, this is an Ethereum wallet. So it's a little bit different from a metamask, except it's more secure and it's not stored on a device. So like you're seeing all this stuff right here, but right now you can't really see it, but it's synchronized with my Ledger. So my funds are actually stored on the blockchain, but my private keys are on this ledger. Now, why is that important? Well, if you downloaded some malware or some phishing software on your computer, they can get your private keys. Just like in metamask, the private keys are stored directly on metamask. If someone steals those keys, well, you know what they say, not your keys, not your crypto. Now you understand what not your keys, not your crypto means. Because if someone else has your private keys, they have your crypto. Because they can upload it from any wallet or any ledger anywhere in the world that they want. Now, also what's cool is you guys can see like your portfolio and how it's doing. So it has a, yeah, down only. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah, I did take a beating. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, didn't we all? I had a big exposure to Ethereum, Bitcoin, and I had a couple of small altcoins as well. So those definitely took a hit. But again, yeah, you just had to. Everything's relative. So like if you purchased them here, more so around here, and you're doing pretty well. But anyways, guys, nothing crazy. And here's a couple of things that they have on the top. These are a couple of announcements as well, but you can actually stake directly through Ledger for some of these tokens. And yeah, they have a little backup pack, so that's another promo they have going on. Me personally, do I prefer the Nano S or Nano X? Well, let's just go directly to their website. Here's the Nano S. It's $59. Use that link in the description as well below for the Nano S or Nano X. It's up to you. And it comes with a neat ledger. Gives all the gizmos and gadgets, whatever. And if you want to save some money, you can get like the Nano S 3-pack. Also, this was kind of cool. But me personally, I don't think it's $99 worth $99. I mean, just buy a safe and throw the piece of paper in it, because I feel like I'll lose this crypto steel capsule solo. I'm sure I can spend $99 elsewhere and store a piece of paper somewhere. But hey, that's just me. You guys do what you want. Actually, better yet, the best place to store it is like store it in a water bottle or something heavy, and then put that piece of paper in there. Make sure you laminate it, and then like sink it to the bottom of your pool. It'll be safe from any fire damage. I mean, if people see that water bottle in the pool, you'll just be like, nah, bruh, don't touch that junk. It's just, it's there to hold the pool down. If you pull out that water bottle, my pool's going to fly away. No, I'm just messing, guys. But yeah, I don't know. It's up to you. Just get creative with it. But don't leave it in the open. Actually, no, leave it in the open because no one expects that. All right, I'm going on a tangent. So let's talk about the other features that they have. The Nano S is for those people who are like, bruh, I just like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and that's it. That's okay. You can just like that. You can download as many of these different wallets as you, or not wallets, but apps as you want. It really doesn't matter. You can download as many as you want. And the reason why you can do that is because you can actually delete and reinstall on the manager. And just because you delete Bitcoin account, at least, so like if I delete one of these, I can always reinstall and my tokens will be back on there. So that's what's really cool about it, because your private keys are stored on it. So theoretically, I can have a bunch of different accounts and just upload and download them at any time I need to use them. But it is a little bit confusing from time to time. I wouldn't say confusing, but it's more inconvenient. So that's why if you're the type of guy who has like 40 billion different coins, well, you're probably going to be better off getting the Ledger Nano X. The Nano X has a lot more storage capability on it. Let me just go ahead and show you guys the different products. So we'll compare their devices so we can show you. But the Nano S, here's the breakdown. It's just good for hardware storage, just storing your coins on a hard wallet. And also, if you're mainly just using it for like MetaMask, this is what I do. I actually just take my MetaMask and then I go up to here and I connect my hardware wallet. That's what I do. I just connect the hardware wallet and it allows me to store my quote unquote crypto on my MetaMask on my hardware wallet. So again, my keys are stored offline. So that's really cool and a neat feature as well. Here's a comparison of the S and Nano X. Of course it's the best seller. It's because people only know about Bitcoin and Ethereum, but not here. On Drake on Digital, we have fun. All right, so up to 6 apps installed on your device. So it gives a star because depends on the app size, but you can always download, reinstall, whatever you want. and up to 100 apps installed on the Nano X. So that's why I'm saying, if you're like, bro, I like Polkadot, I like Cosmos, I like Digibyte, I like Bitcoin, I like Litecoin, I like, I don't know, whatever, Ethereum, you can download all these different ones. Next is on the wallet. These both have Ledger Live, so that's a good thing. You can stake and do all the junk and earn chicken for staking your stake. And this shows you kind of the screen size. I kind of showed you on the main screen. It was kind of small, but let me go ahead and show it to you guys in relation to my hand. So I'll get back on the screen. I'm back. All right, guys. So here's the Ledger. I put on these little doohickeys because they came with the box, and I didn't know what else to do with them, so I put them there. So yeah, but you guys can see it's got a steel outside. This actually covers your thing, so like you can be like, and just like tap it or whatever you want to do. They got like 2 little buttons on here. These are your like verification keys. If you guys see my hands are orange, that's just because I eat a lot of vegetables. But you guys can see these little buttons here. Boom, boom. I can do some more videos to explain how to use it if you guys get it. And there's your little screen. It's really tiny. Here's my hand so you guys can see how big it is. I hope that helps any. My hands are really huge, so I don't know if you know that. But let me do it in relation to a cell phone. But here's cell phone. Here's this. You guys can see it's like the size of a cell phone. But yeah, it's just a small USB. Let's go back on the screen. Peace. The other one that's really cool about the Nano X is it has a battery. The Nano S does not. So like if it's not plugged in, it won't turn on. But me personally, it's kind of like, well, I don't really care. Because most of the stuff is done on my computer anyways. But that is kind of convenient that it is on a battery. So like if there's ever like an emergency, etc. And this connects with Bluetooth on your mobile. So like if you store all your money and junk and pay stuff with crypto, you can use your Ledger Live app and use your hardware wallet and store your main junk on, well, a hardware wallet. And you guys can see the buttons are a little bit different, but yeah, me personally, I use the Ledger Nano S because I'm a computer type of guy. I just go on the computer, get it done, and yeah, I'm white and nerdy. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys do 3 things. Like, subscribe, bell button. Leave a comment below in the description saying you subscribed. You will get thrown into a drawing to earn $100 in free BTC. So if you guys like BTC, make sure you do that jump. And guys, if you guys want to get a Ledger, there's a link in the description below as well. You get like 20% off or something like that. I don't know, whatever it is. But have fun. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And as always, we will leave you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Project Chapter 22. We're going to do 22 verses 22. Do not exploit the poor because they are poor. Do not crush the needy in court, for the Lord will take up their case and will exact life for life. Yeah, dude. That's so true, man. And plus, don't take people to court. It's not worth it. You'll usually lose, like 100% of the time. And even when you win, who really wins? Oh wait, it's the attorneys. I'm going to show you guys how to keep organized. This is a simple form, but I'm going to show you guys how to keep organized in DeFi and in yield farming. This is a little small, I guess you can say, spreadsheet I just made. Just so you guys can use it as well. You guys can copy it. I don't care. But this is just a similar concept and idea that you guys can just use. And my face just went away. We'll keep it on top. Sorry about that. But it's pretty easy to use. All you got to do is put in the tokens, like token A, token B, price you got in, etc. I'm going to show you guys how to use this, especially for your degen farming, whatever you guys want to do. It is a simple concept. The biggest thing, TLDR on this junk as well. Did you make more money than you put in? That's all you need to know. So we're going to show you guys how to do this. First off, you are going to use this form for multiple chains. You can use it for single chains. You can make duplicates of the form, whatever you want to do. But the concept is you select the farm or the actual DeFi protocol you're on and you type it in. So say, for example, Uniswap, Ohm, Balancer. We can do Pancake. I mean, whatever you want. And you select the chain it's on. So this is on ETH. My keyboard stinks, dude. What the pants? Do ETH. I can't even do ETH. All right, there we go. Pancake would be BSC, so we'll go ahead and put BSC on it. And you put the different token pairs. So say, for example, on Uniswap, I was providing liquidity for ETH and USDC. So I did 1 ETH for 3,200 USDC. So I'll put the token pairs. I'll put 1 ETH and 3200 USDC. So now you guys have your own pair. So this will also allow you to calculate your impermanent loss. Yeah, I know. Impermanent loss is the difference in price you would have seen if you would have just held the tokens. So say, for example, we're providing liquidity with 1 ETH and 3200 USDC. We would have been better off holding that Ethereum if Ethereum doubles in price, because USDC is theoretically not going to double in price. If the token pairs move around, that's when impermanent loss is going to factor in when you withdraw your liquidity. So that loss you're receiving that goes up and down is your impermanent loss. The reason it's called impermanent is because it's not permanent loss yet. As soon as you realize it, that's when your loss becomes permanent. That's how you can understand impermanent loss. And typically what happens is when the token goes down or dips, you are going to be buying the dip on that coin. Or if it goes up, you're going to be selling that coin for the other. So you can keep that in mind. So now we have 1 ETH and 3200 USDC. Whatever the token value will be, just depending on how many is in that pool. Probably for Uniswap, it would be like 0.0001 or something dumb, or like 0.001. And we put the USD value. So it's 3,200 in Ethereum and 3,200 in USDC. So it's going to be $6,400. So this is my USD after. I'm sorry, take out 1 0. So now it's $6,400. So now it's $6,400. So say, for example, USDC or Ethereum doubles in price. So now we're probably going to walk away with, it'll be like 0.75 ETH and I don't know, maybe 4,400 USDC. It'll fluctuate. You'll be able to tell. Like, for example, if ETH goes down in price, you're going to be buying Ethereum with your USDC. So that's how you can factor that in. So you're going to have your USD after. So say, for example, you withdraw, you sell your Ethereum to USDC. Whatever that token amount that you get is USD after. So say we get $8,500 because the market went up. Our profit and loss as well. So you do 6,400 minus 8,500, and that's going to give you $100. So we profited $2,100. Good. But you got to factor in, could have you had impermanent loss? But we're not going to factor that in on this chart. Just wanted to show it to you guys. You can even do something similar to like Fox Finance. Fox Finance is one that can be, it's just a random one. We'll just say we put in 1,000 Fox tokens and 0.25 ETH. And I don't know. Oh, let's do Fox. And when we went to go withdraw, the Fox tokens were worth half as much as they used to be. So basically what would happen at that point, if Ethereum stayed the same price, we would probably walk away with a bag of about 0.14 ETH and like 2,000 Fox. And whenever you go to sell the tokens back, you figure out what your total value was. So say the initial value, let's just call it $5,000. It went down. So the USD after, because when we go to sell our Fox token back to Ethereum or USDC or USDT, whatever you wanted, say for example, you go back and sell it, your USD after, your value is 4,000, your profit and loss was 1,000. So you kind of got ripped off. So if it has a negative, that means we lost 1,000. And if it has a positive, it's a 2,100. And you can simply do this to tally up the totals. If you're in a bunch of farms, you can automatically just do this. Hit the equal sign on your keyboard when you select this, and you'll say, hey, I want to choose this farm and this farm, and you hit enter. And once you hit enter, now it's going to say, hey, your total profit for just in general was $1,100. And if you want to factor in how much you put in total in all this, you're going to factor these two numbers together. So you're going to do equals, boom, done. And our initial investment was $11,400, and our profit for whatever time frame is $1,100. Not too bad. It's about 10%, so that's pretty good. But that's a quick chart how you guys can chart your farms. This is just a simple concept. You guys can make your own spreadsheets. This is just an idea you guys can use. This is how you do it. You select the farm. Going down this way, you pick any farm that you want, and then you do the chain, the token A, token B, the token value, the USD value, USD after, and your profit and loss. If it's just a single-sided pool that you're putting in, all you got to do is put the token pair. So for example, Pancake is BSC, and then we did 100 cake tokens. That's it. And then we did our USD value. Say we paid $1,000 for all the cake tokens. Now the cake tokens are worth $20,000 when we go to sell them. So now profit and loss, $19,000. Boom. That's it. Super easy to do. And it's a chart you guys can play around with so you guys can use it. If you guys enjoyed this video, 3 things for me. Like, subscribe, bell button, and leave a comment in that description below. And today in this video, we are going to show you guys some helpful sites to get out there in DeFi, guys. Get your feet wet, or better yet, take your shoes off, take your socks off, then get your feet wet. Because no one likes to have wet sneakers. All right, guys, so let's go and... Dude, I remember when I had wet sneakers. They always smelled like straight dog poop. But anyways, guys, side note. Let's go and get into this. Let's talk about this. If you guys are new to the channel, 3 things for me. Like, subscribe, bell button. Oh, wait, +1. And leave a comment below saying you subscribed. You'll automatically get thrown into a drawing to earn $100 in free BTC. And guys, there's a link in the description below with an Ethereum address that is at the top. It'll say ETH address for the giveaway. It's in the description. If you send ETH there, any of the wallets addresses that are interacting with that address will be selected at entirely random or random entirety. And they will be given all the money that's in that wallet. So if you guys want to get that money, go for it. Have fun. Guys, it's just a fun way to show you guys how blockchain works, how crypto works, and the coolness of it. But anyways, guys, glad to have you guys here. Let's go and get into the content, and let's do it. All right, so my first site, well, guys, this is not in order or anything, whatever. My favorite site, I will say, is CoinGecko, but we're going to show you CoinMarketCap because everyone always talks about it. But CoinMarketCap has a convenient little tab that says DeFi, and you can go to Defi and you can look at all the different Defi tokens and you can pick any ones that you want. That's pretty cool. And you can also specify by yield farming. So if you're like, bro, I only like to farm yields because I like yields. You can look at all the different yields that they have. And me personally, I know this is Venus. This is on the Binance Smart Chain. So based on Binance Smart Chain, it'll tell you all the tokens that are on there. I wonder if CoinMarketCap will actually have Polygon on here because that's actually a competitor to them. If you guys didn't know that, Polygon or CoinMarketCap is owned by Binance. Yeah, guys, I just looked through all these jokers. They don't even have Polygon on here. Good times, good times. Gotta love competition, man. Gotta love competition. But anyways, guys, you can scroll through these and look through them. It's not going to give you all the DeFi tokens, but it's going to typically give you guys the most popular ones, and it'll give you like the average APYs and rates that you're going to be looking for. So like, for example, minting Vi, you can get like 323 or 32%. That's pretty fire sauce. And you guys can see the different ones that they are on as well. So it's not only on each token, you can actually expand the view and it gives you all the details on all the tokens, and it actually takes you directly over to the website as well. So that's pretty convenient, pretty fun, pretty easy to use. You can check out Venus. I actually use Venus. Venus is fun. And even when you didn't know you were using Venus, Venus is actually on the back end on several other tokens, like on Auto Finance, on Beefy Finance, or Harvest Finance, or Finance, or any finance junk there is. Guys, if it has .finance, it's .com bubble, right? Well, guys, you are going to see some of these tokens literally just crash and burn and then explode. And then I don't know what's next after that. But anyways, you guys get the concept is out of all these ashes, there will arise some winners. Hence why we have like Google, Facebook, and all kinds of garbage. I wouldn't consider Facebook a winner because I don't like Facebook. So anyways, the next website is going to be DeFi Pulse. I like Defi Pulse is because on this website, you can see the most popular tokens that are out there. DeFi Pulse is only for Ethereum. So do keep that in mind, guys. You can actually see these massive gains and what they're doing. And you can actually figure out what tokens or what projects are way undervalued by seeing like, oh man, this one's got 1.35 billion in its locked in liquidity, or TVL, and its token value is only like 500 million. Well, there's something wrong with that. I mean, TVL isn't a tall tale, but it does tell something. If there's a lot of TVL over there, that means they're doing something right because people are wanting to get their money over there. So that's DeFi Pulse. You can see the different networks, and it also shows you guys how much is locked up in DeFi. So this is really cool. And you can also look at BTC as well. Now, I know you guys are like, BTC. BTC is not on, there's no DeFi for BTC. Well, they actually have a couple cool projects that are actually launching and talking about it. I'll be talking about them on my channel as they get more prominent and more users on them. But BTC locked in DeFi is like locked on the Ren bridge. So what happens is when people use any of the, not the bridge, but you guys get what I mean. It's somewhat of like a bridge, but this is how you get your pegged asset. So like your wrapped Bitcoin or wrapped Ethereum. Well, we're talking about Bitcoin, so forget wrapped Ethereum. But wrapped Bitcoin on Ren or Ren BTC, that's wrapped Bitcoin. Or you have something like on PancakeSwap, you have PBTC, which is basically Bitcoin that is wrapped, but on the ptokens.io website. And here's an example of it. It's basically just a token thing. They are on other chains as well, but I'm just giving you guys an example. It's similar to Ren. But all you need to know is it's just like a pegged asset. It's not the actual asset. It's a synthetic asset. So it tries to be the asset. So just like every other token out there that wants to be an Ethereum killer, right? All right. So the next one is CoinGecko. Guys, CoinGecko is my favorite site. I really like CoinGecko because you can do so many things with it. If you guys go to the homepage, obviously you have an option for DeFi, but you have this sweet little button that says filter. So you can choose the platforms that you want to go on. You can be like, I just want tokens that are only on, let's just call it Ethereum. So it'll pull up all of the Ethereum-based tokens. Boom. Look, these are all Ethereum-based tokens. And you can choose and pick and choose and choose and pick and take a look at them. Or you can be like, okay, forget this. I want to look at the DeFi tokens and I want to see what they got going. You can do that as well. This will show you all the different DeFi tokens. And if you guys are ever questioning like, okay, this cake token's cool. What is it? Well, it'll say like Binance Scan or Ethereum Scan. This will tell you what network it's on. There are some cross-chain ones, so look at these tags. So you'll see tags. You got a Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. So let me show you a good example of one that is multi-chain. So let me show you guys SushiSwap. So SushiSwap, I'm saying that so wrong. Why can't I say SushiSwap? SushiSwap. Whatever. Yearn, you have Polygon, you have XDAI, you have, yield farming, no dip. It's also on a couple more. It recently got out there. But look, you see Binance Scan, so that obviously means it's Binance, and you see Etherscan. It's on several other networks as well, but it's not readily used because most people are using Polygon, Binance, and Ethereum right now. Well, actually, most people are using Polygon for the yield farming, but that's because we like the low gas fees. And another thing you guys can do with CoinGecko, it's the same thing with CoinMarketCap as well, but you can look at the different, not features, but you can look at different news and articles and things coming up. So like you can be like, hey, I want to explore some coins. So it'll show you like all the lists of all the coins that you want to use or look at. And you can say, hey, I want to filter by market cap. I want to filter by category. So you can be like, hey, look, I'm really into DeFi right now. So let me just do DeFi tokens. And you can select that and search it. So you can say, all right, here are all your DeFi tokens. Have fun. And I want to just say, hey, I want to check out all the tokens that are on Polygon. So I'll automatically say Polygon POS, and it'll show me all the tokens that are on there. And it'll show you all about them. So if you're like, oh, Polycat Finance, this is cool. What is this? Oh, well, it's a token. Cool. And then you look at the bottom and it's like Polycat, next generation AMM decentralized exchange with deflate. Oh, huh, cool. Yield farm. Oh, I like farming. Farming is fun. Remember Farmville? Okay, so you guys get the concept. That's really how you use it. Nothing crazy. Now, the next one is VFAT tools. So I love VFAT tools is because this actually shows all like the yield farming junk. And you can say, hey, I want to see every single token ever made, all in general. Well, not ever made, but in the most part, all the tokens. Or I can be like, nah, bro, I just want to do Binance Smart Chain because I'm like a smart chainist. Or you can be like, nah, I'm just doing Polygon because I like Polygon and Polygon's cool. because Polygon's fire, right? All right, so now you guys get the concept, get the ideas. You see all this different stuff. You can click on any of them. It'll actually give you like the website and information. You can go check it out. It is a little bit, I wouldn't say dated, but it's kind of like classic, old school, like OG. But it still gives a lot of information, guys. Now, this is the go-to if you guys are like, oh, I like cookies. Where'd my cookies go? All right, so you guys can go here and see all the different stuff that you guys want to use. So this is the rug doc. This will give you some information. If you guys see high risk, well, it's probably high risk. If you guys see low risk, well, it's lower risk, but it has some risk. And same thing with some risk. Some risk means some risk. What do you think? All right, so you can open up each of these things, and rug doc will basically tell you, hey, we've looked at the code. For the most part, it's okay, but here are the problems. Owner has fixed the issue where masters. Okay, so this is the problem that they just had. Near perfect clone of ketchup. So it's a clone of ketchup. So if you go to ketchup, ketchup will probably say it's a clone of this. It tells you, hey, the deposit fees are this, 5% transfer tax, master chef behind time clock, and it just tells you different information about it. And if you guys want to look at the contract, you can actually go straight over to the contract and look at the information on it. And if you guys are good at reading Solidity, you can look into this. But look, they have little tips and information on there so you guys can look into this and see what it means and understand how it works. You can look into this code and read it if you guys want to take the time. And if you guys are about to ape in, I highly recommend taking a look at this stuff because, guys, you're spending real money at this point in time, and it's like, okay. Hey, here's a better tip. If you don't want to do research and don't want to look into it, they have things called lottery tickets. They work a lot better. They tell you whether you won or lost within seconds. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Don't gamble. It's not a good thing to do. But still, do your research, guys. And then you can also click on this More Info tab, and it'll give you some more information about the project itself, about like the countdown and when it's going to launch. Some of these projects are new. And the tokens we kind of just clicked on are on Binance Smart Chain. I don't like Binance Smart Chain as much as Polygon. Polygon is my favorite. I already talk about it a lot on my channel as well. But you can specify and say, hey, I just want to do Polygon tokens because I like to save money on gas and I don't like to be raped. So you guys can see here are all the different projects that are on here. You can scroll through them and it shows you guys the risk, high risk, low risk, middle risk, some risk. Some of them aren't even ranked. It's like, for example, not eligible. So it doesn't mean it's not ranked. It just means they haven't really went through the contract code. And you can actually specify and say, hey, I only want to see audited projects. Audited doesn't mean a one-all be-all. It just means, hey, it's got a better chance of not being like destroyed. But hey, even the audited projects get destroyed. Another thing you guys want to look for is TVL. If there's a lot of money on a site, it's typically, I wouldn't say a ton of money. A ton of money just means like, hey, bro, this is a candy grab for anyone or any hackers who want to hack this. But you don't want to have it like none, because then it's like, oh man, this guy's just waiting to get some money and he's going to rug pull on everyone. And then if it's in the middle, then it's like, okay, it could still grow. And hackers aren't really targeting it as much, but yet hackers will target anything. I mean, they're in it for the gains. But I mean, just think, if you're a hacker, do you want to go after $1 billion and take the same amount of time, or would you rather go after $1 million? Don't need to answer that question. I'll let you guys answer that. All right, guys, that video was probably a bit boring. It was just mainly just some information just so you guys can understand what's on the up and up. But anyways, guys, I want to say thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys do 3 of those things for me. Like, subscribe, bell button. Leave a comment below saying you subscribed. You'll automatically get thrown into a drawing to earn $100 in free BTC. Guys, gotta say thank you to the Patreon members. Guys, the Patreon member we got is Sean Bot. If you guys want to join, there's a Patreon link in the description below and right here. And guys, if you want to participate in the ETH giveaway, there is a ETH giveaway in the description. If you guys want to participate in that, any of the addresses that donate or send money there, it's not donating. It's like something between you guys. Any money that's given there, any of the random addresses or any of the addresses selected at random, or one address will be selected at random. We'll get all the money that's in there. So have fun. And guys, let's leave you guys with the wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 24 verses 28. Or no, 17. What the pants? I was reading sayings 28. Do not gloat when your enemy falls, when they stumble. Do not let your heart rejoice. Guys, we've been there, done that. When you're on top, you'll be quickly humbled. It's just like in the markets when you're like, bro, I made 100x. How about you? The next day, where'd that 100x go? Oh yeah, it's gone. Be humble or you'll quickly be humbled. We're going to go over why all these farms go to zero, guys. Or about 99.9999999% of farms go to zero. Guys, this is going to be a quick video. It'll be about 5 minutes long. So just a penny for your thoughts, or a penny for your time. I think that's what it is. But anyways, guys, we really need to talk about this, why we implement the farming strategies, and why, in my opinion, about 99.9999999% of these farms will go to zero. First off, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys do 3 things for me. Like, subscribe, bell button, leave a comment in the description below saying you subscribe. You'll automatically get thrown into that drawing to earn $100 and free BTC. All right, guys, so first off, we are going to show you guys a couple of pictures and tell me what you guys find in common. Next. 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 Wow. Looks like we just looked at a couple of farms. Wait, should I show you more? Let's look at Goose. That looks healthy. Guys, do you see what's in common? All these farms go to zero. Doesn't matter about the tokenomics. Well, 99.99999% of them. Doesn't matter if they have a maximum supply or whatever. It really doesn't matter at all, guys. Look at this. This has a max supply, and it's still just about zero. That's just what happens to all of these farms, guys. That's why we don't buy farming tokens. You earn them, you dump them, and you move on. That's just what you have to do, because in reality, these farms are going to zero. They have Ponzonomics. Let me show you guys a couple of things on all of these farms so you guys can see why they're just straight up Ponzonomics. First off is you have the deposit fees. What is wrong with a deposit fee? Anyone want to answer that, or is everyone just too nervous on it? It's okay. I'll answer the question for you. All right, so first off, with the deposit fees, it's all on Ponzonomics. They use this deposit fee to pay off the additional or the early users with the token. So this 3% is going out to what is that's what pays out and gives people the additional Krill tokens, or pays out these rewards that you see here for the additional USDC, Quick, or even Wrapmatic and Wrapped ETH. Well, why is this important? Well, these APRs and APYs are not always going to be here. Why won't they always be there? Well, because there's not always going to be a greater fool. Eventually, there will be enough fools that are gone, and now it's just like, what the snap? Are you the last fool in there? That's why you don't want to buy these tokens, guys. That's just no-brainer why these farms are going to zero. Is because most of these tokens, even if they don't have an infinite inflation supply, what is the use case for the token? Oh yeah, you deposit the token and earn Krill. Or you deposit the Krill token and earn Krill. Well, dude, the Krill token is trash. Why do I want to earn more Krill? Well, because you can earn more Krill. Well, why would I do that? Well, it's the governance token, so you can govern over this protocol. Why would I want to govern over this poly trash? I mean, dude, why the pants would I be able to... I mean, dude, what's like the best thing about saying, oh yeah, I own 10% of the share of Polywell tokens. Oh, well, what's the valuation of it? Oh, like nothing. Oh, well, good for you, Johnny. You must be a Krillionaire. Dude, it's like, what the snap? There's no use case for the token. No one cares about it. You're never going to buy a sandwich with Krill, nor would you buy like anything with Krill. I mean, no one's going to take your Krill. I mean, at least Dogecoin, you can buy a ticket with it at the Mavericks game. I mean, at least it has a use case. I mean, I can't harp on Doge that much. I mean, sure, I know it's an infinite inflation, but at least it's got a meme going for it. I mean, Krill is just a useless farming token that any and everyone gets for free. And the only use case is, well, you can earn more Krill with it, and you can govern over a useless roadmap that says, oh yeah, we're doing this, this, and this. And the only thing we forgot to mention on there is we're going to soft rug on everyone. But anyways, guys, this is just a quick video on why all these farms go to zero. I hope you guys understand it, but if you guys don't know where the yield is coming from, you are the yield, guys. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys do 3 things: like, subscribe, bell button, leave a comment in the description below saying you subscribed. You'll automatically get thrown into that drawing to earn $100 in free BTC. And guys, we'll see you in the next one. Hey, where are you going? Proverbs chapter 21 verses 24. The proud and arrogant person, mocker is his name, behaves with insolent fury. Amen, brother. So first off, people are asking, there's a lot of frequently asked questions. We're going to start with the first. We're going to go on Aave, and I'm going to get rid of me from the screen right now. Bye-bye. Everyone has been asking me the same question. What the pants is this health factor junk, and why is this bad? What is liquidation? What the pants? Do I lose all my money if it's liquidated? Well, there is a phrase that says, or a word that means, it depends. So, if you guys are levering up, like withdrawing here, depositing here, withdrawing here, depositing here, yes, you will get liquidated and lose all your money on this platform if it goes to zero. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto. So if all that crypto is on Aave, you're going to get liquidated. Yes, you will lose it all. Mean exactly when someone says liquidated. Okay, so when this health factor hits 1, it's basically game over, bro. But it depends what the different markets or what the different things are. So like if you have a cascading event, if you don't know what cascading means, it just basically means keeps going down, 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 and doesn't stop. There are a couple things you guys need to see in what it's going to be. So if you click on any of these assets, you see what the not the fees are, but the liquidation penalty is. So this liquidation, being that it's 10%, means that you will get liquidated and 10% will be taken away. So you are sitting at 1, it'll liquidate you up to 1.1. So say you have 1,000 Matic, and to get you to 1.1, it has to get your Matic to 900. It'll liquidate 100 Matic as a fee, and it's entirely gone, and it's gone forever. And then you go down. But if Matic keeps going down, there's going to be an additional fee, and then an additional, an additional, and additional. You guys get the point. So if you have like a cascading event where it basically just completely wipes out to zero, you're liquidated. It's game over. Back to square one. Go get some more money. Get a job. Go work at McDonald's. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't work at McDonald's. Don't get a job. Build a business. Hire people. Create more jobs for people. That's what you need to do. And then become a DeFi master. All right, so that's what liquidating means. Now, is this health factor healthy? Well, it's in orange, so it's probably not healthy. The reason why I'm using it is because most of it is in stable coins, and Aave, I'm not really getting a huge loan against it, and I'm watching it very closely, guys. Obviously, it's not close enough, but I'm watching it close. So yes, I can get liquidated, so you guys have to be super careful with that. Now, another question I've been getting is liquidity providing. So what you guys need to know about liquidity providing is pretty important. So you guys see ADDI, ETH, or you see USDC DAI is okay, but wrapped ETH and USDT, and you see USDC, USDT. See, those LP tokens are 131%. Now, that's pretty high for a stable coin. But then you look at something like wrapped ETH and Aave, it's 474%. Wow, what the pants? Why is it so high? Or like this, Titan Wrapped Matic is thinking, what is that? 902,000? I don't know. That's 9 million%. But that's like a ridiculous percent. And now you're thinking to yourself, why is it so high? Well, this is why it's so high. First off, and that won't last that long. I mean, probably during this video that will go down like a lot. Look, it's already ticking down. As you're staring at it, it's ticking down. So the point is, the reason why it's so much on that LP is because what happens is when one token goes up and the other one goes down, it basically forces you to buy the dip. If you guys don't understand what impermanent loss is, that's what impermanent loss is. So basically at the end of the day, what's going to happen is if you provide liquidity for a token, you're going to be left with a poopy coin, and the great coin you had, you would have sold it off, because at the rate you are providing liquidity at 50-50, when people are buying the good coin, the bad coin is just being dumped or sold for the good coin. So they're taking your good coin and giving you bad coins. That's how adding liquidity is. That's why you're paying fees. And like I said, guys, this percentage is going to go down. Look, it already went down. How much percent? Like, I don't know, 1 million? No, it was 100,000. Literally, while we're talking, guys. So that is not sustainable. That's how you guys can see it. Now, the next question you guys are asking is, why in the world is one protocol able to pay a different percentage than another one is for a different pool? Well, first off, they have different compounding strategies. So one protocol will auto compound at a different rate than another. This one has no auto compounding. This is directly on iron. So what rates you're seeing is just regular rates, just like period, nothing special, no compounding. And then you go on Adamant and you're seeing, wait, it's like 400% more. Why don't I just deposit here? Well, if you break it down and open it up, it says 1,500 will paid or is paid in auto compounded Titan, and 1,700 in Addy rewards, and 3,300 in auto Addy fee sharing claim daily. So basically, you're only earning 1,500% in this pool for auto compounding Titan. Now, how does that compare to this one? Well, this one is 6,000%. So in theory, you would actually be earning more on this one unless you're bullish on Addy, because with this one, you're actually earning Addy tokens and you're earning auto Addy, which is, well, not auto Addy, but on the stake invest Addy, you're earning wrapped, matic, and quick tokens. So it's one of those things like you can deposit some here and you could deposit some in Titan. I know that probably didn't make sense, so I'm going to explain it again. You guys see this breakdown. This pool is paying 1,581% in auto compounded Titan. The Titan that they get, they're actually selling it for you, so they're forcing you to dump the coin and get the Iron USDC LP tokens. So this automatically forces you to dump, which is a good thing for dumping basically just farm tokens. So it forces you to get more LP tokens. So technically you're getting stable coins. And then it also pays in a percentage of 3,341% in auto Addy fee sharing. So this is for the fees that you get from the Addy rewards. So you're getting paid 1,700 in the Addy tokens, which is this token, and you're also earning Iron token. So like if you see here, this claim plus vest, I'm just going to say, okay, I'm just going to claim invest this now. So it's going to send the transaction. And if I go to the stake vest, I'm earning quick and wrapped matic rewards for my staked Addy in here. So this is just one of those things like you can just deposit. This is just like a diversification. That way if one protocol goes down, you're still earning on this one. Or guys, remember, because you're basically in a party of rugs or a party of scams. That's just how DeFi is. It's not if, it's when. So you got to be careful, guys. So that's another thing people were asking. Now, another question people are asking me consistently is, how in the world is the Fish / Matic or any of these farms able to pay 6,000%? It does not make any sense. Well, what happens is there's such thing as a deposit fee. These deposit fees right here are basically paying those percentages. So when you're paying that deposit fee, that goes out to buy the token to give it to the people who are staking the Fish token. So in order for this to keep going, it's a Ponzi, guys. More people have to pile in order for it to go up. It's a little bit different with the Polycat, is because it's one of the first ones, similar to like Pancake Swap, and it has a cap. But again, guys, all in all, these are degen farm tokens. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, Polycat will still go to zero. I'm probably wrong. I usually am. But guys, it's probably just going to go to zero. If you are bullish on it, that's fine. You can be bullish on it. Make sure you get all of your principal back, and then you can save some Polycat or some fish token if I'm wrong. If I'm right, well, okay, you have some random useless fish tokens, but at least your principal is intact. So you aren't hurt, but you aren't won. So guys, it's a matter of protecting yourself in this, especially if you guys are going to go down the rabbit hole of DeFi. Me personally, you would be safer with something like a sushi swap or a aave, or no, well, Compound's not on Matic yet, but something like Curve. So if you guys are wanting to participate in it, just make sure you understand what the math is and don't do meth. It's not good. So now we're going to go back over to aave. So this is another important thing. So at this rate, it looks like I'm paying for Matic. So the only way to defend against this is the borrowed Matic I would have to deposit on the other side, because at that rate, then I'd start earning 10%. So technically, I'm not underwater on it. So that's something you guys have to keep in mind, because if you guys are going to get a loan on it, eventually you're just going to be paying more for it. So you guys have to crunch the numbers. You can't just assume, oh yeah, it's going to be profitable. Oh yeah, it'll be okay. And you guys can, it'll automatically tick up. So a lot of people are asking, how long can I loan it for? Well, you can loan it as long as you want, and as long as you stay above 1. Once you get to 1, you're liquidated. So you got to be careful with things like that. So when you go to pay it, there's a section that says repay. So once that goes to repay, you're able to repay your wrap Matic tokens or your Matic tokens there. And that's how you can pay off your loan. So you can have the loan for as long as you want. That's entirely up to you. But at the end of the day, it's like, oh, well, basically it's just going to not be good. Because at that point, you'll just be losing money for providing liquidity. Like these farms, I'm probably going to move some of these around. Like, for example, this USDC is barely profitable. This Matic one, I have it deposited over in another pool. So it still makes sense for me to use this, because I've used it on this website and I'm using it on a different protocol to keep it profitable. But after this video, I'm probably going to fix this. Because this is it's not that it's not healthy. It's just that I'm almost paying more for the junk than I'm actually earning. So I would change something like that. Also, guys, there is a website called rugdoctor.io. It's a pretty good website to go to. They check code and see if it's audited and good and whatnot. It's not 100%, but it's a good go-to or start off. But again, guys, I'll probably make a live stream so you guys can ask your questions away. Leave in the comments below if you'd like me to do so. I'll schedule a time for a live stream so that way the most people can jump on as possible and ask all the questions they need, and I will answer them. We'll do a AMA, and we will hash it out. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys do 3 things for me. Like, subscribe, bell button, leave a comment below saying you subscribed. You'll automatically get thrown into a drawing to earn $100 in free BTC. And guys, if you want to participate in the ETH giveaway, this is the address. And at the end of the month, that will be sent away as well. So guys, thanks for tuning in. And we'll leave you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 24, verses 4. Through knowledge, its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful. Let's take that into context. By wisdom, a house is built, and through understanding, it is established. Through knowledge, its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. That verse kind of relates to the brain. Like as you get older and get more experience and understanding, your brain gets like more wrinkles in it. I don't know. But anyways, just a thought. We're going to talk about a couple of things. So I know you've seen this, and this is the feature of infinite approval. You need to be super careful with this, guys, because this is how new projects, especially right now, can steal your funds and steal your money. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm going to show you a couple tricks so you guys can protect against the infinite approval function if You've already done it and just click, click, click. Yeah, that's fine. I'll infinite. Yeah, you can take all my money in my wallet. Well, I'll show you guys how to undo it. It does take a gas fee to do it, but it'll be a good protection and it'll leave you peace of mind, especially if you have a substantial amount of funds in your wallet. So have you ever seen this button? I'm just going to do an example for a random token. So you have a section that says infinite unlock. Look, this little transaction that everyone's like, yeah, we agree with this. Well, look at the full transaction details. Basically, it states that it'll be able to spend 1.15 to the e to the 59th power, which is basically infinite. So that is a ridiculous amount of tokens, and that's a problem. If you allow that infinite unlock, I mean, maybe for a 1 inch or a Uniswap, I mean, who knows? They could still be a rug pull. I'm not saying they are. I'm very bullish on them. I love the projects, but hey, who knows? I can't put it across anything. It's crypto, guys. It is a very risky market, but I hold both. So I'm not saying like they're bad projects or anything. I'm just showing you guys an example. That's the infinite unlock feature. So you need to be very careful of that because there's so many random projects launching and coming out. So this is very important. So here's an example. Here's an example of a smart contract that was programmed the way it was employed by Bancor. When the user first used the system, he had to give the smart contract authorization to withdraw an unlimited amount of tokens in or from his wallet. So what will happen is the smart contracts on this, for example, would be Bancor. Bancor I'm very bullish on as well. But a hacker is able to steal all these units and tokens that are used that are authorized or someone had authorized to use. So like me allowing that infinite unlock, now someone can come into my wallet and take as much as they want because they have a contract that basically says my signature. I'm allowing infinite amounts of all these tokens to be released to this project, and a hacker can come through and exploit that. So here's a feature on how you guys can fix this. So what you do is you search your address on Etherscan. You can see your transactions, you can see your token transactions, your analytics, and you can see the different things on it. So where you're going to need to go is you're going to need to go to More. So when you go to More, you have a section called Token Approvals. Now there's this section right here where you can revoke it. Yes, it's going to take a gas fee. You need to connect your wallet. So once you connect your wallet, you can go and click this button and you can pay the gas fee to revoke it. So you can undo the approval. That is a quick feature on how you can do it. You guys want to do this when it's low gas fees. A second way that is not as foolproof, but it will help mitigate against it, is you go into your wallet and you go under the settings and you go under connected sites. So you guys can see the different connected sites. You can say, all right, disconnect. I'm going to disconnect from here. And you can choose all these to disconnect just to be on the safe side. I mean, if you're disconnecting from all of these different websites, you can stay on the somewhat of a safe side. The best bet to do it is to completely go in there and say, all right, I'm out. I'm done. I'm going to get rid of the infinite approval. Especially with a new project, you can select the amount that you want to put on there. So instead of doing infinite, you can just say, hey, I want to allow 3,000. Yes, it's a pesky and annoying process to constantly clear out your wallet, take all that off, unapprove or not always approve, and have to pay that extra pesky gas fee. But guys, it's the peace of mind. So just keep that in mind, guys. That's a quick, easy way to protect against the infinite unlock feature. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, if I brought any value to you guys, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. That way you guys are notified every time we make a new video. And if you guys want to donate, you can pay. And if you guys want to support the channel, there's a link in the description for Patreon. And there's also a couple of affiliate links. You get a bonus, I get a bonus. It's a win-win. And on top of that, if you don't want to do either of those, that's fine. You can smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll appreciate that much more. Anyways, Proverbs chapter 28, verses 16. A tyrannical ruler practices extortion, but one who hates ill-gotten gain will enjoy a long reign. I agree with that, man. Extortion's brutal. I do not like extortion. I don't agree with it. And if you guys are trying to extort other people, don't do it, guys. You want to look under or live by the golden rule. Do unto others what you want to have done unto you.
And today in this video, guys, this is going to be strategy. We're going to talk about some strategies and how you guys can, well, this strategy is called arbitrage. I'm going to show you guys how you can arbitrage the opportunities with different stable coins and basically leverage them gains. So we're going to show you guys how to do this. Now, I call it arbitrage, you call it arbitrage, I call it arbitrage because I already told you that. Guys, got to say thanks to the sponsor of the channel. It's called OKX, and they are giving $10 in free Bitcoin for signing up on their account. They're being generous this month. Links in the description below if you guys want to sign up with OKX. But anyways, let me go ahead and show you guys this cool arbitrage strategy. Now, there's different ways to do this, and we're going to get rid of these, and we're going to get rid of these, and we're going to focus. Actually, I need my Focus glasses, so they don't have any lenses, but they help me focus. So, here's our arbitrage strategy. We're going to go over to Aave. We're on Phantom. You can actually go on different chains as well, but I like to use Phantom because it's like the degen paradise. And well, people like to leverage over there, so you can get some really good yields. I'll explain that later in this video. So here is a strategy. Let's say, for example, I have some Ethereum, I have some Bitcoin, I have some Phantom. I don't care. Whatever you have, whatever you can lend. I mean, there's a bunch of different options on Aave. There's other protocols as well, like MyFinance. They allow you to do yield-bearing assets as well. But we're not going to confuse you with that. Let's just say, for example, you're using Bitcoin or Ethereum or Phantom on Aave. Me personally, I would recommend something like a Bitcoin or Ethereum due to the loan to value ratio. The Phantom loan to value on Aave is only 25%, which is doo-doo. What this means is you lend out $1,000 worth of Phantom, you can only borrow up to $250, and then, well, you could get liquidated at 45%. So no thanks. There are other ones as well, like Granary Finance, that allows you to borrow up to 60%. So some let you get more risky. But yeah, there's different opportunities. And if you do have some Phantom, make sure you guys check out MyFinance. MyFinance will let you get some more degen yields or degen borrowing rates. Just keep in mind what you're dealing with. Like if you go super risky, you can get liquidated pretty hard. Let me show you the strategy. Stop losing focus. Go over here on Aave. Let's say, for example, you have one Ethereum. This would be worth about $3,100 at time of recording. You deposit your Ethereum in here. We can borrow up to 80% against that. Of course, you don't want to do 80%. As you can see here, the loan to value is 80%. So what this means is if I lend out $1,000 worth of Ethereum, the maximum I can borrow is $800. And keep in mind, if Ethereum goes down a small percentage, I mean, it'll tell you the amount. It'll be like $50. If Ethereum price goes down like $50 or $100, you would get liquidated, leveraging up this high. So I don't recommend doing that. Of course, you don't lose everything. You still have the $800 because you lent out one ETH or $1,000 worth of ETH and borrowed $800. So you still have that you borrowed. But still, no one likes to get liquidated. You get penalties and it's not fun. It's not cool. So anyways, you lend out your ETH here for one Ethereum, whatever. Now I'm going to borrow some stable coins. You can see here right now, my APY I would pay is 11%. I can opt in and do 12%. That way the strategy is less volatile and is more stable. But let's just say we're doing the variable APY of 11%. So we're paying 11% to borrow this USDC. We aren't even going to factor in, they're paying us nothing, actually. So we aren't even going to factor it in. You can see we're paying 11%. So we need to go look on any of these other DeFi protocols and say, okay, who else is paying me more than 11%? Well, there's actually a bunch of them on Phantom. There's a protocol called Taro. If you go on Taro gives pretty high yields, and the reason being is it's a leverage yield farming protocol. Oh, hey.
So fun fact, did you know you can't mine Bitcoin with a pickaxe? When you hear the word leverage, just automatically think ding, 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 ding. People are paying a lot of money in order to leverage them gains because they're willing to pay a lot of money because they're able to earn more. So if we look at the yields for USDC, let's go ahead and see what they're offering. 6% doo-doo squirts, 8% also doo-doo squirts, 6% again doo-doo squirts, 11% that's okay, 5 doo-doo squirts, 10, 13%. Okay, that's a little bit better. We can arbitrage that. That's pretty good. 12, okay. We just need to get rid of our USDC. Let's just trash this junk. You can go over to Beethoven Finance and we can swap our USDC. Let's just say, for example, we borrowed 10,000 just for even numbers. We can now get a bonus. So now we're getting 10,035 my stablecoins. Boom, we're up $35. Let's go. Now keep in mind, you got to repay your loan. So it's not all like honeys and Harry's or whatever the saying is. So it's good. Like we got $10,035. We're up $35. Like what the snap? Let's rip the shirt and shirt ripped. And no, it didn't. But we got $35. We're in the green. This is awesome. So what are the yields on the my stablecoin? So let's go and type in my. Well, it's 4%, 2%, 3%, 5%, 7%, 4.9. Okay, these are also doo-doo squirts. But we got $35. So what do we need to do? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some other DEXs, like Beethoven Finance. We can see right here, we can get 31% on the day USDC stablecoin. But we just swapped into my. It's not the end of the day. We can always go over here and get 16% here as well. So, hey, it's not too bad. We're able to arbitrage some of these yields. Because if we're paying 11 and we're earning 31, like what the snap? We're earning a green. We're getting 20% for free. Now, there are other protocols out there, but remember the TLDR. The TLDR is go where the protocols have leverage. There's one other one. It's actually paying like 180% APY or APR on stablecoins right now. I just don't want to share it here because it will dilute the yields. It's in the Discord. So if you guys are in the Discord, y'all know where it's at. But this is the stable arbitrage strategy. You borrow, like for example on aave, now it's 13%. You can pay a 13% rate. And then you can come over here on, first you get your $35 for free if you want to do that. Or you keep your USDC and you deposit it into here. We're earning a 31% APR. Remember, this is APR. Our borrow rate is in APY. So 13% is what it's going to be. Whereas the APR over here, if we compound this will be around 38 to 40% APR. Now this is paid in beats and it's paid in deuce. So do keep that in mind. If deuce doubles in price, your APR is actually more. Instead of just being 31%, it will actually be about 60 to 70% because the tokens you earn doubled in value. Now, Beethoven Finance isn't the only pool that you can use. There are several others as well. Like for example, here you're getting paid 20% APR in the my token or the Cheetah token. Now, there are so many different ways you can get creative with this strategy. Your goal is to make more money than the APY you're paying. So if you're paying 13%, you want to strive to earn 20%. And particularly, it's better if you can earn it in the stable coin you're lending out. The reason being is because if you're farming a Ponzi coin or a junk coin and you're earning it at a 20% yield and that junk coin dumps 50%, well, now you're just matched up with what you were paying because your APRs technically went down by half because the APRs are denominated in the token, just so you can keep that in mind. So right now, since the time I made like the strategy and the article, some of these yields are a bit lower, but you can still make a yield on Beethoven Finance. As you can see here, you can arbitrage the 31% and the 15% or the 13%. Now, sometimes this is actually around 4 or 5%, but today, while I'm recording it right now, it's up. So you know what? We're going to change up the game. We're going to do something different. How about we find a protocol that allows us to borrow stablecoins and not charge us a penny Like it's free sauce, like interest-free loans. Well, let's bring in cheat out. So if you guys don't know about cheat out, what I really like about cheat out is they allow you to use interest-bearing assets. So I don't have to sacrifice my yield and I can still get some stable coins. As you can see here, if I use Beefy Scream Phantom, which is a yield-bearing asset, the Beefy Scream token is actually earning I don't know, it depends on the vault strategy. But like the Urine Phantom token, for example, which is here, this one's earning like 10% right now. And they're paying me to borrow. So this is the cool thing. Check this out. Look, you're getting paid 50% in cheat out token to open up this vault or this loan. You're also getting paid in compounding phantom rewards on Beefy Finance. So whatever yield that is, let's stack that on the cheat out yield. And now the my token that you're borrowing with this, you can go farm with it. Over here, you can swap out your my for USDC and day, or you can take your newly found my token and you can lend it out on Taro if you guys want to. It doesn't matter. You're partaking in arbitrage, which is you're borrowing at one rate and lending it out on another and profiting on the arbitrage. And whenever you want to close it out, you just repay your loan. So with the stablecoin, using my finance, my debt, I don't have to pay anything. So I can hold that loan open for 10 years and I'm okay. The only thing I have to pay is a 0.5% upon repayment. So if I borrow $1,000, well, when I go to repay, all I have to pay is $5. Literally, $5. So I can borrow 1 year, 10 years, 20 years. It don't matter. The longer I borrow, the lower my APR. So if I ended up borrowing that token for 20 years, theoretically, my APY to pay out on my debt on that coin is like 0.0001%. Like, dude, I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. I pay with that yield in a day. It's crazy, but check out the arbitrage strategies, and these yields change from time to time. As more money flows into the ecosystem and as more people leverage, I can show you guys screenshots. The stablecoin yields on the my token on Taro on given days will be 40, 50% plus. In fact, I'll go and show you some of the screenshots. I literally took this one like, I don't know, 5 days ago, 4 days ago. Oh wow, 70% APR on a stablecoin, 32% and 51%. You guys can see you can get these stablecoin yields. So it's still really good. And even if you just get 5%, 10%, if you're using cheat out, you're actually partaking in arbitrage because you're getting a yield on Phantom. So that's bonus. That's gravy. You're also getting paid to borrow against that. You're getting paid 50%. And you're also getting a yield on the my stablecoin when you lend it out. So this is where you can have self-repaying loans. Like, dude, they're paying you to open up a loan. Think about it. Everywhere else you go, they're like, bruh, you got to pay us like 20% every single stinking month. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is arbitrage strategy. If you guys want to check out the Medium article, I will try to remember to leave the link in the description below. Check that out. By the way, guys, if you guys want to jump in the Discord, there is a link in the description below. I like to share the strategies I'm doing in the market, as well as different plays I'm making in the market and different narratives I'm looking at. You guys can join in the Discord, links in the description below. And if you guys like to see videos like this, leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel, and I'll start making more strategy guides. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll go ahead and leave you with a wisdom one-liner. We're in Proverbs chapter 15, verses 5. A fool spurns a parent's discipline, but whoever heeds correction shows prudence. I fall short of this all the time. People say, hey, you should do this better. Hey, you should do that better. I'm not saying you're my parent, but still, it's advice and you should take it in and at least listen to it instead of saying, nah, bruh, forget you. Well, no, listen to them. And I fall short of this. I need to listen to you guys more. That's why I want to hear you guys' feedback. If you guys want to give me feedback, what will really help, instead of saying, look, you moron, you stink, how about you say, hey, you could have done this and this is why. That would be awesome. And that would really help. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in the next one.